Hello, everybody, and welcome to our second quarterfinal of the week. I'm Jaws, coming to you live from Bangkok, Thailand, more specifically the AIS Esports studio, where my commitment to watching degenerates beat the crap out of each other at video games knows no bounds. And alongside me, as always, my trusted partner, the sleeveless one himself, Mr. Rudy. Welcome to hopefully another wild series as we get into it with the Penguin Pajama Party. Looking to kind of flip the script a little bit and take out the beautiful mutant sausages in what I hope to be another marathon 5-game series because I paid for the amount of time of a 5-game series. How you doing, Rudy?
You know what, Jaws? I am happy to be your sidekick any day of the week. I cannot say that my commitment to casting is as high as yours. And I'm sitting here in my apartment where I spend all of my evenings, but I feel like my excitement level is right up there with you. I could not be more pumped, especially after the legendary, the sure to be told in stories for years to come series that we got last night. The tale of the Phoenix Rising, risen from the ashes, making it to semis after a completely winless regular season. And tonight, what a matchup we have. As you said, Beautiful Mutant Sausages versus Penguin Pajama Party. Herefore and after referred to as BMS and PPP by me because I don't like pronouncing either of their names.
You don't want to say
Way
Penguin Pajama Party five
It's
times
just
fast? Come on.
so many syllables, man. It's so many syllables, let alone the alliteration. But all of that to the side, just this entire season so far, it's been there's always an edge. Nobody ever knows what is going to happen. Anything could happen, and that is why we love TCL so much.
Oh yeah.
But honestly, like I'm pumped to see the rematch because we got to see the preview of this last week, and all of those games were pretty darn competitive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's actually really glorious. It's 8 a.m. here, so I'm wide awake while all y'all are just kind of slogging your way through the evenings. But yeah, I'm very excited about this series. I think we have a couple of really interesting matchups. I think the matchup that I'm always going to be looking at is you never know what IREP's going to pull out in the bot lane, right?
You
He's
don't.
always there's always something fun and wild and wacky. We saw the Senna. I think
Mhm.
that's going to be a pretty high profile pick. I'm not sure if Ryoklu Espen run that. I
I
haven't checked to
doubt
see
it.
if Ryoklu runs. I mean, Espen does run a lot of tanks, so that actually might work out. Where it's like, hey,
Yeah,
Espen,
but
how'd you
it's
love to
different
not
playing
play
a
a
tank
support?
than farming on a tank.
Yeah, no, that's
Like
no, that's totally fair.
it's a big like personally I am just not comfortable with it and obviously Espen could be just so much better than me at it if you got a bit of practice and I hear it's pretty easy to farm on TK. Wouldn't know, haven't tried it. But there's actually other variations of that lane you can play, and I'm not gonna leak any scrims here, but my team did do some scrimming with BMS last week, and yeah, there's some exciting things that could come out of that bot lane
Oh yeah.
and top. We'll see.
Oh yeah, no, that at the top I think is really where the fireworks are going to be, especially with music. Music's actually been running a lot of carries, right? He's run the
Hmm.
Renekton has been a pretty key staple. He's been busting out the jacks.
Yeah,
We saw an Akshan a couple of times. I don't know if that's
yeah, we did.
allowed to say that. I heard that triggers a couple of different people, but he does have the carry potential, and I mean Sir Aaron's got a lot of question marks right now, especially with the Mordekaiser
Mhm.
ban. It really seems like once you take Mordekaiser away from him, it really kind of levels him down
Mhm.
a bit. And so really curious to see kind of how he's going to make changes. But we are into champion select. First bans are going to be coming out. And Rudy, yeah, I'm expecting if I'm playing with Jam Party, I'm thinking Senna ban. If I'm Beautiful Mutant Sausages, I'm loving the Mordekaiser ban. And from
Mhm.
there on, it's anybody's guess.
It really is. It depends like where you want to put that pressure, right? Honestly, for game one, game two, it's anybody's bet, right? You have to learn to adapt, play on your feet, figure out what happened the first game and how you capitalize on that and extend it into game two. Um, Either side that you're on, right?
Yeah.
But it's like where do the junglers plan to put their attention, and what are you the most scared of? We still see the LeBlanc ban, which I think
Oh,
is
absolutely. I believe she
good.
just got
She did.
buffed or
AP
tweaked. Yeah.
specifically got buffed.
Yeah.
Not the
So
on hit
I ain't messing with that.
stuff. So that's very smart. In our scrims, we did leave a block up, and we did lose that game, but it also went to like 50 minutes. So
Okay. I
It
mean,
was a
it's
whole
just one of
thing.
those champions, right? There's certain champions on certain players that you just don't want to deal with. I know that I had mentioned even yesterday in the armchair analyst about Swiss and Thresh, and I definitely ate my words on that. But there are, even so, it's like, why would you give them that advantage, right? Why would you give them the ability to do to be comfortable and to be able to see a situation and just know exactly what to do with that muscle memory? Renata, another ban aimed at ban aimed at IREP. I think it's probably the only traditional support that IREP actually plays, and he plays it incredibly well. And he won't even play it traditionally. Let's be real.
Not only that, but I think that's also like the only sport he's played more than once this season. I maybe not entirely true, but I feel like that's his most played support so far. So I was just reminded by reading some chat. There were some spicy bot lanes picked at Worlds this weekend. I don't know if you saw any of that. But Callista with a Caitlyn support did get a dub in the JDG BLG series. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
That just sounds wild. Okay. I mean,
it was Weibo BLG, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that doesn't surprise me. There's some wild stuff, especially once a patch settles in, you just figure out, oh, this is broken. We see double ban aimed at Sir Aaron the Silas actually being taken away. I'm not sure if someone can let me know where that is aimed at. I believe that Silas jungle has been a thing, as the jungle has been kind of repeatedly nerfed to the point where literally anyone can jungle. But I'm not sure if that's something Abarn's been picking up. We see the Swain hover. That is something that Control has played, so not sure if they're going to be busting it as a first pick. Okay, looks like they're going to Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, there was something wrong there. I think Sir Aaron might have trolled the hover too long, if I'm being honest. Saying he couldn't click on the champion, but that feels... That feels... Feels a little off to me. It's fine. We'll get the lobby going. Hey, nothing like a best of 5 with a delayed start. That's what we're here for. All good.
Wow. Man, yeah, so, I gotta say, I understand the memeing, but when I've been in, this is not most recent TCL, but like when I was captaining teams for like our internal league, I was like super duper pushy about draft discipline, where I was like, okay, we can meme hover, and I would actually like time it. I'd be like, okay, guys, at 30 seconds. Or it's like, it was either at 30 seconds, 15, or 10, where it's like, you need to be hovering the champion you're going to play, because this kind of stuff would happen, right? You have to be disciplined at a certain point, and it's like, yeah, maybe it can be 10 minutes, or 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever, but you never know what's going to happen with... you gotta respect the fact that this client sometimes does what it wants, and you may not be able to click what you want.
Logically, can't argue with you, but logically I can't argue with you, but I do have to say that one of the small things that I take joy in from life is hovering troll things and making the casters think my team's a bunch of idiots. Nothing gives me that little thrill quite like hearing, oh, they're gonna lock in Yasuo here? Oh, no, wrong thing. So I completely get it. I've done the same. Also, I did cut out there for like half of a second. My internet's been really oddly spotty lately for being fiber and as expensive as it is. So if you lose me for a second, just know I'll be right back. It's just in and out.
Yeah. Rudy, I was actually, speaking of chat, I was pulling chat up. Did you see what the ruling was? Because I don't see a loss of ban, so it looks like we just kind of went back through.
Looks like we're saying, yep, client bug. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay. All right.
Which is
client bugged, and away we go. Yeah, so Ziggs,
as
you said...
start with any controversy.
Yeah, right. Wait for the finals. Anyway, so yeah, Ziggs first pick. I mean, that could go Abarn. That could go Ryoklu. Yeah, as you said, Ziggs very strong in both carry sides. It also opens Abarn up if it's going bot lane to drop some AD in the mid lane. We see Bard being grabbed from Espen. Holy moly, that is
round 2 Bard.
Okay, and we see a Jax. Okay, let's go. They've been practicing some stuff. So we've got split push potential on the Sir Aaron, loving it. He, when he has a champ he likes and he's vibing, he can rock. Against a Maokai, I love the Jax because Maokai jumps on Jax. Jax goes great, sounds good. And then we've got Xayah.
Jungle Maokai. It's not
Could
a
be.
top Maokai.
Well, that's the uber flex that BMS is
That's
known
true.
for, right?
They're really good at
Maokai
that
can
'cause
literally
Irep will
go
play
top
anything
jungle or
support.
support
Yeah.
at this point. Malphite, it's either going to go jungle or support
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Malphite. Honestly, like, Malphite might be good in laning against Jax, but playing Malphite into Bard Ziggs seems pretty bad. That does not seem great. Like, you're not going to get a ton of value out of stacking that armor that you might want to. Yes, it's a guaranteed like engage, and looking at what you have so far with the Maokai and the Malphite, like, you have go buttons. Just figuring out how you play against things like the Bard, like the Ziggs that offer mobility and range is what you're going to need to round this draft out in a sensible manner, right? And
Yeah,
as you said, you got the flex, so it can come from a lot of different places.
All that being said, the degree of difficulty outside of the Ziggs on the side of Penguin Jam Party is fairly high. Bard is the ultimate troll, right?
I'm so bad at that champion, yeah.
The Bard giveth and the Bard taketh away.
Like, what does it do?
Yeah, it is kind of a fun design if you look at it. Okay, then we see the Swain ban, Zac being aimed at Spurg, Swain being aimed at Control. I would expect to see probably more mid lane bans as we kind of get moving, and then potentially jungle, maybe. Okay, there's the Wukong. Okay, so yeah, definitely a couple more Spurg bans. I'm expecting one more Control ban, probably Syndra. At this point, there's the Syndra, and then Control is going to basically grab what's left over. There is a world where Control holds and goes for the counter pick, but I don't know if they want to really wait to show where the Maokai is going to go. So there's some really cool mind games going on right now with that super flex, with the Maokai super flex. All right, y'all, you broke my rule. It's 10 seconds. You're not going Anivia. What are you going to do?
Maokai jungle looks like
it's gonna be Blitzcrank. All right, this is gonna be fun.
I mean, that's what you got to do into a passive lane like Ziggs, right? You're either going to play something that also passively scales with it, or you have to play like hard engage. And there's not much engage harder than picking up one of the enemy champions and putting them right in front of you, right? And that's what Blitzcrank brings to the table. So a lot of pick tools over on the side of BMS, and I'm curious. I feel like they just need some damage to round out this comp.
Yeah, and we see, so this is something that I talked about, I believe, Rudy, you and I were talking about this at the last Penguin Jam Party series we saw, which is, man, we'd love to see Spurg on a carry. Yeah, Kane's a carry. So it's great. The only downside is they are a little light on CC right now, and especially with the Tristana lock, they are very light on CC. That's going to likely be an A-Barn Tristana in the mid lane. Yeah.
Is this TCL? Not a tank to be seen.
Yeah, no, well, it's. I'm less concerned about the not a tank. I'm more concerned about the CC, because if they're doing their job right, Jax is scaling into infinity in a side lane and just beating the crap out of this Malphite, which also means that there's not, good self. There's a lot of good self peel, and yeah, there's the Akali. You and I know this Akali pick very, very well. This is super duper exciting. Regardless of the outcome of this game one, there are going to be some clippable moments as we see the Blitzy is going support. They can still swap it back. So just saying, they can still swap it back. Blitzcrank jungle is a thing, but right now it looks like we're going to see. I believe so. It's a little bit wild and wacky. Barely.
How do you clear? Like, that sounds so impossible. Clear.
Yeah, but I mean, he can do it. But yeah, it's likely gonna be the Maokai jungle with the Blitzcrank, and this is another, I'm gonna call it quote unquote traditional support, but it's as traditional as you're going to get with IREP, so I'm here for it. And this is a hyper aggro explosive lane, and I expect them to be looking to go Hook City on Espen, and that's going to be rough. As we tick down, y'all, if any of y'all would like to give your opinion, cough cough Spirit, whatever, man, I don't care, that's your anniversary, I'm casting on my anniversary, you come talk about Bard. You should come to the Armchair Analyst desk, Spirit, come talk about Bard. Anyway, I'm just joking. If anybody else wants to come hang out and talk about Bard, or any of the other picks, feel free to jump in. But yeah, Rudy, first impressions on some pretty new looks. A couple, a little old, little blue, little old, little new, something borrowed, something blue. But yeah, especially on Penguin Pajama Party, it's almost like a completely different team comp than what we've seen with them all season.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the something blue is going to be my face after I'm done yelling and laughing during this series, because it is set up to be just a ridiculous game one, and I'm just so here for it. But my initial impression is one in general about the league that I think we've seen take place with the shift in the meta over the past couple of weeks, and especially last night, right? With J-Bob in the top lane. And that's the shift towards less team fight focused compositions and more carry-oriented picks, right? We'll see how successful they are, but as was pointed out during draft, not a tank to be seen on the side of PPP right now. They are
No.
damage and engage and support in terms of the Bard, but that's a damage comp, right? There's not much for engage beyond the Bard alt to maybe catch somebody out, or counter engage like the Malphite if you're quick enough, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how that works. But last night did prove with the Tristana mid on Tony on Tristana mid how effective split pushing can be, and sometimes you don't need to take the team fight. I will say that's not the first time we've seen it in TCL. I recall a Tryndamere mid from a couple of seasons back that was terrifying. I think that was Vrail. Man just split push to oblivion, killed anything that came near him. But I would say that those comps are harder to execute than the traditional, like, I'm going to hit R on Malphite, I'm going to hit R on Maokai, and then we front to back a team fight, right? So I'd say higher
that's the
skill
biggest
cap,
thing.
but teams aren't as practiced against it, so you have opportunities.
No, that I was kind of waiting for you to kind of round out that, which is that
Sorry,
the
that
degree of difficulty. Oh, you're good, man. You're good. I love a good Rudy rant. What are you talking about? Hashtag trademark. I've trademarked it already. That'll be $50.
Funny people have.
Anyway, but I do agree. I think the degree of difficulty, we talk a lot about degree of difficulty, especially in TCL, where we're not pros. We can't play everything mechanically perfect and take advantage of that one small mistake and then snowball it. We're all amateurs of varying skill levels, and the degree of difficulty on Penguin Pajama Party is very, very high. This is an ambitious composition that needs a lot to go right. Whereas, as you said, one good blitz hook, one good Malphite ult, one good twisted advance. There's a lot of different ways that they can set control up to pop off, right? And that's the win condition for BMS is just control pops off. It's really, really exciting to see. And they also have the same kind of explosiveness in the bot side with Speedy, where Xayah, as we saw, can also pop off. Xayah's been one of the primary picks this whole season, and just has that ability. So you get Akali resets plus a good Xayah pop up mid game. Penguin Pajama Party is not going to get to the scaling that they're looking for, and that's really what they need to be. On the other hand, if Sir Aaron can get moving and kind of be that carry that we've really seen from him, and apologize, Mr. Producer, I'm actually going to turn my my video off while we're in game because otherwise I'm going to run out of battery. We are into game, y'all. If someone can get the get some internet points going, that would be lovely.
Right now.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know who you think is going to make it, if it's going to be the Penguin Pajama Party or the beautiful Mutant Sausages. My vote's going to go to the beautiful Mutant Sausages. If for nothing else, then I love seeing control on the Akali once again, and just that the degree of difficulty is fairly low in terms of what they need to do. So hopefully I bought you enough time, Rudy, to do what you need to do.
Live right now. Barter Blitz,
Let's
baby.
Go.
Get your points in there.
All right. So put all your predictions in. My prediction is definitely for the beautiful Mutant Sausages, with the caveat that if Sir Aaron can kind of get moving and grooving, that is a very, very, very scary side lane push, because the Malphite, once he gets one or two items, that Malphite just can't do anything against him. He just beats the crap out of him.
I am going to play Contrarian for fun. And I'm going to say that this goes to PPP, because what I see is if they can get to a stable mid game, you have Tristana in one lane, Jackson in another, and Ziggs clearing waves in the mid, with the Kayn running through walls between, looking for the numbers advantage to make a play, right? Abarn is known for his ability to call team fights and the like, make those macro rotations. And if he can keep a tight lid on this team, they have the tools to effectively affect a very successful 1-3-1 comp, right? You got to be in this scenario. You can't fall behind in the mid game. You can't get hit by those blitz hooks. You can't fall behind on Drakes and those things that force you into a certain spot. But the tools are all there, so we'll see if they're able to execute. But if they are, I'll give it to PPP. First hook misses. That's 1/3 of IREP's mana gone.
1/3 of his mana is gone.
Dude, that's not even a joke. He starts with like 260 mana or something. Costs 100 per hook.
No, I know it's pretty wild. And first root lands for Espen, which is always good to see. And yeah, I'm definitely going to see is like how many frankly, how many skill shots is Espen going to eat? Because if the answer is 0, then this lane is just going to be abusive for Ryoklu and Espen against Speedy and IREP. But if the answer is 1 or more, then I think we're going to see first blood in the bottom lane. As we're kind of slowing down, settling in. This is playoffs. It's almost, when you see basketball playoffs, you see the players, they start to play more defense. They're a little bit more methodical. Playoff League of Legends, people aren't going as wild and wacky as they were. People are a lot more methodical. Everybody's kind of locked in. So I'm expecting to see more of that. We saw that yesterday, as we see another binding land, but just kind of average trading. Both teams hit 2. We've got pretty neutral lane state. The mage minion got onto the other side. Oh, careful. But yeah, but relatively neutral lane states as we see Abarn in the mid lane also pushing in. Oh, nice poke down. Speedy getting a little bit low. And if Ryoklu keeps landing these skill shots, that's going to be pretty fun. IREP taking control of the brush as we see a great deep ward.
Yeah, I want to call that out real fast. Oh, after
well, hold that thought, because Rick is actually in the middle of a gank right here. Going to get the knockback onto Abarn. Control going in, going to get some really solid damage on Abarn, getting heavily chunked, not having to burn any summoner spells, and he does have that teleport, and he's going to back right away. So I would say a semi-successful gank, as we see. Yeah, exactly. Great scuttle grab for them to get full control of this bottom. Oh, I guess they're not going to do it. They're just going to ward out. Interesting, but IREP is there in the middle. Can I see the middle? Middle lane, please. Middle lane, please. Let me see middle lane, please. Thank you. As we see IREP going for the rum, going to try to get some more damage. Abarn is able to get out. Oh my god, control goes in, flashes out from Abarn. Control gets first one, flashes over the wall. That's the Akali we're talking about. First blood to Control, and BMS off to a great start on a wonderful roam from IREP as we see Spurg able to secure that bot lane river. Go ahead, Rudy.
I cannot believe that turret shot didn't go off there. I thought Control was dead. I'm like, okay, cool. He got first blood. Cool. But no, manages to get under there, and I'd love to see it from right. One of the most, I think the general meme is like best TCL player never to win a championship, right? Typically what we see from him are Control mages, which funny with his name. But right now he's showcasing that he can, Control mages in LeBlanc, of course. But he is not simply.
I don't understand why the meme of Control is Control. He plays Control mages every single time CMB is actually see Rick. So we think we know where what the strategy is. It's to get Control going so that he can roam and pop off. But like you and I both know, right? His best champion is LeBlanc. Right now. Oh boy, this is not good for Sir Aaron. Yeah, this is not great for Sir Aaron. Painful.
Oh, he missed another. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, he's just going to have to clear this and immediately TP, or back and then TP. But no, I mean, I completely agree. He's very capable of playing Assassins, as demonstrated by that gank. But this season, I would bet a lot of money that 2/3 of the games have been on Syndra or Orianna. That is what he has been gravitating towards. But it's great to see him come outside of his box.
Now, Rudy. Yeah, I will say, and the only reason we're gonna go on this wonderful side tangent is because there really isn't much going on outside of just a little bit of pushing. Now, Rudy, one could argue that Syndra is not a control mage, that Syndra is a single target assassin that so happens to have control mage capabilities. What say you?
I say I don't play that champion. It throws balls at me, and normally they hit. That's what I know about Syndra.
Fair enough.
That's all I got for you. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. We'll have to. I can get some. I'm just trying to start a flame war in the middle of chat, so don't worry about it. But anyway, as we approach the 6-minute mark, gold is even, but in terms of gold, definitely in the right place. Obviously, Speedy would have loved to get in on that action. But something I wanted to call out, Sir Aaron is up in farm, right? And here comes Espen on the roam. Bard, an incredibly strong roamer. Let's see if he's going to be able to get something. And Spurt coming through the wall. So this is a 3-person jump onto Control. Control's going incredibly low. Going to try to outplay this situation. He does! Abarn! No, not able to get it. Control, just an absolute beast.
How did Abarn not hit R there? Auto R. If you're in range for auto, you're in range for R, no?
Oh,
he had mana.
You're right.
That's a misplay.
No.
I mean, well played by Control, but that's a misplay by Abarn to not get that kill.
Actually, I'm gonna go back in time really quick and see if he did. You don't have to, Matt. I'll just check real quick. Let's see if he actually had enough mana for it. It's 100. It's 120 mana. Let's see.
While you are checking,
he had 92 mana. He did not have enough for ulti. Not a misplay. As we see Dragon going down. Microsoft Rick able to get a pace for it with his life. Ryoku getting the kill. We see the knockup go down on the Spurg, but this is definitely a power play in favor of the Penguin Pajama party. IREP is scooting and booting his way out. Speedy runs away, pulling the feathers with him, and so we're going to see, I believe that was just a 1-for-0. Sorry, I was actually checking the replay. We see a pause going down. I don't know if I missed anything else, but I did see Microsoft Rick securing the dragon. He did go down. Didn't see if there were any other kills outside of that, but Ryoku getting things moving. And yeah, Abarn at 92 mana. Got to give the man his due. Probably would have gotten the assassinate.
Fair enough.
Maybe jumped thinking that he was gonna. Oh, we are. What's going on here?
It's the client delay. It pauses for the same amount of time that the pause was, so it'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Or it should be. It's normally something like that. While we have a second though, I do want to shout out Sir Aaron. He had a ton of lane pressure with the wave early. And did push in and force Rick off of that early red buff. It did lead to his mid laner getting ganked twice, but honestly, just heads up play from the top lane. You'll have to see it when you have that sort of prio. I didn't get a chance to say it earlier, and I do like calling out players when they do things that are very smart.
Well, it's always nice to also call it the utility piece, right? Where the vision score is strong. I've been starting to play again, and my damage per minute is awful, and my gold per minute is awful. But man, my vision score is fantastic.
Hell
so
yeah.
I was like, all right, either I'm gonna have to get better at this game or play support, one of the two. As
Dude,
we approach 8 minutes,
it's so relaxing.
So I've heard.
Dude, I can convince you to play Rel, the most broken thing in the game. It's disgusting.
Yeah, potentially. But Sir Aaron definitely withstanding the abuse. He was actually up on CS. He is right now, but he had a bit of a higher margin.
There's a huge wave about to crash. It's going to put him down.
May have been a trick of the light.
Or back even.
But Jazz is running Comet, so he's definitely running that really annoying pokey. He's not running he's not running Grasp. He's running Comet. So that was where we saw a lot of that kind of early frustration, likely from Sir Aaron, just being kind of pushed out and getting poked down. So if Music can take advantage, does have the early Warden's Mail, which is great against the Jax.
So undervalued against any AD top laner who's going to be autoing you as a tank.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd love to see that. Like, kids listening at home, if you're ever against an Urgot and you're playing in a tank matchup, don't buy the Ninja Tabbies. Buy the Warden's Mail.
Warden's Mail or Bramble Vest,
much.
depending upon. It's Warden's Mail or Bramble Vest, depending upon whether the sustain is a huge part of their kit, right? That's another big one. As we see Twisted Advance on Rick, aiming towards Abarn, who just jumps out. So that is on cooldown, and it looks like they're able to secure this. Sir Aaron out of position, does drop the E. It's not going to be enough. Microsoft Rick taking credit for the kill. Spurg jumping over the wall, jumping back over the wall, but Music's going to get credit for the kill. Okay, well, at least Control didn't get another kill. They do have the Scuttle, and they were able to secure that Rift Herald, but paying for it with 2 kills as we approach the 10-minute mark. Gold still even, but that Akali snowball is starting to roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's all, on the other side, though, you got to look at what you're trading to get that. Obviously, 2 kills, great. They did not get the Rift Herald. Spurg managed to secure that, and they've, oh my gosh, completely missed the play itself. But in the bot lane, Speedy is dead. I was about to say, man. Blitzcrank roaming this whole time has given them so much time to just crash wave after wave. I think they have 2 plates off, and there you go. When your support leaves forever, eventually the ADC dies. That's just a fact of life.
Yeah, that is.
As a support, you have to babysit. That your primary job is a babysitter. Even if they're so much better than you, you got to be there for them.
Oh wow. Okay, so I'm just rewatching. They just poked him out into oblivion, and then Espen just like ran him down. So good play by the bot lane. That has really been the question mark for this Penguin Pajama Party squad is, can Espen and Ryoku really kind of get on the same page and start rocking? Because a lot of times in these early laning situations, we've seen just very lopsided KDAs where they just not able to kind of manage things the way that they wanted to. Rift Herald being somebody in the mid lane, so they're trying to kind of accelerate that lane regardless, so the Control can't just kind of kill Abarn and roam. We see a 2v2 situation. Spurg trying to get out of there. He's incredibly low, and he needs to be careful. There's the flash going in, Control getting the kill, getting potentially the reset as well. Oh, nice Twisted Advance. Abarn trying to get the return kill, but that's just going to be a double, and the snowball is now officially rolling, if we didn't think already. 100% kill participation on that Akali, just moving and grooving and showing why Control usually does not get that champion. Yeah,
in the nicest way possible. Like, really well played by Rick. I think Abarn canceled like 3 autos during that fight. It's fine though. Extremely well played by Rick. You got to respond to the Herald push. He's honestly, dude, Rick is such a solid jungler. Like, I don't think anybody knew what to expect from him, but he's been playing these engage tanks. He's been playing them so well. Really, shout out to the guy for being, I hate the word solid because it doesn't really mean anything. It just means, oh yeah, he's good. But,
oh yeah, we see Espen rolling into, takes the magical journey and gets out of there. So just a little bit of health being traded. But yeah, this Bard, speaking of question marks, I definitely had a question mark on Bard on whether Espen was going to be comfortable with that champion, if he'd even played that champion. Did not check his OPGG. Rick in the bottom lane. But there is something to be said for being the bedrock, no Malphite pun intended, of your team. And Rick really has shown to be that all season. And he even does that in the top lane, right? He plays tanks. He knows what he does. He plays within himself. That's something we always talk about in sports, right? Playing within yourself. He doesn't take any unnecessary risks. And especially in the jungle, there is, you've got your Caridian style, which is kind of like pop off and go for crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But then you've got your kind of chill, like, almost, Joe is almost like kind of in the middle, right? You got Rick on one side, you got Caridian on the other side, and then you got Joe kind of just vibing in the middle like he always does. So it's great to see.
And then you have Calbert off to the side making fun of all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's in his cave, right? Or is it Calbert's cave? Yeah, he's in his cave, or trolling under the bridge, depending upon which analogy or which mythical creature you're looking for. Anyway, 13 minutes in, 2 dragons on the side of Beautiful Meat and Sausages. Slight gold advantage, about 1,000, which it's not insubstantial. Can I take a look at the gold differential so that we can see kind of where that gold is?
Take a look at that top lane. That matchup has flipped.
Yeah.
He is down 20 CS now because the Frozen Heart is complete on the Malphite. And, like, how do you play into that as a Jax? Like, what are you doing?
You just keep scaling. Just keep scaling.
And the armor buys are so effective. I was wrong, obviously, because they rounded out the comp with a Kayn and a Tristana. But, I mean, the entire part of the map that you're going to interact with the first 20 minutes, all AD. Like, so efficient on the Malphite right now. He's kind of cruising. Music's doing the thing on the rock.
Yeah, he really is, and that is how he's going to win on Malphite, right? Is to get ahead and stay ahead. The biggest thing with Surin hasn't actually finished his first item. He's got all of the components for it, so that's going to be the question. Is once he finishes this first big item, which he's about to go buy right now, is that going to be enough? Music's going to wait for the last.
I was going to say, I don't think he's going to get the back off.
Ulti him. Let's go! I love it.
Yeah,
Not quite able to. Not quite able to do that, and I will say that first ultimate does have a bit of a cooldown. He does have the Frozen Heart, which is nice, but Music's going to be able to let this wave crash and actually get some more damage onto this turret. So Music is definitely ahead in this lane across the board, and if he's able to accelerate this lane state and get Jax kind of farming under his inner turret, that is not where Penguin Jabber Party wants to be. And on top of that, Control is going to be able to just blow that Jax up. So that's another thing, is if they get into a split push situation, Control could very comfortably do that. As we see, both supports are here. Spurg is there to make it a potential power play, but he is sitting on a ward, and so just a quick disengage from both sides. Abarn's backing, potentially baiting, but there has been really strong vision control on the side of the Beautiful Meat and Sausages as IREP has been roaming. Look at that mid lane ward coverage. They're making sure that if IREP comes up, and he's been doing a great job of that, they're able to take advantage. But yeah, Sir Aaron's tower about to go down, and if I could just get a quick scroll over to Music's tower just to kind of see what the tower health looks like by comparison.
He didn't take a fight off.
That's not what you want. That's not great. Exit stage.
It's rough.
Enter stage
got
right
one of those
Music.
Kills at the Music got one of the kills at the Herald skirmish earlier, right? Which does make it hard, and the Malphite was picked into the Jax. Like, Music wanted this matchup for a reason, and I think that reason's just very clearly on display right in front of our eyes. Meanwhile, as we were talking about, IREP roaming did give bot lane just plenty of pressure, but Spur gets engaged on. Jax is in there.
Oh yeah, Jax is definitely in there, flashes in, gets a great stun. This could potentially be the kill that gets him moving and accelerates. He just needs one quick bonk onto Rick. Is he going to get it? IRIP able to get the kill onto Abarn, real quickly responding with a kill onto Microsoft Rick. This a great Bard ult, able to lock Music in place. However, the stun is a little bit early. Spurg's going to roll in, try to get the execute, but he's not able to get enough damage. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of this fight, we've got Control in a 1v3 situation. Does go down. Sir Aaron somehow still alive, and Speedy flashing in, trying to push things down. Espen flashing in, flashing out, gets the stun down. Oh, and him and Ryoku just aren't quite there. Okay, going golden does IREP, and Sir Aaron jumping over the wall gets the kill. What a weird split fight, but all told, it's actually going to be in favor of the Penguin Pajama Party 3-4-2, I believe.
That was insane. Also, Espen's flash over 1,000,000 feathers that I think would have just killed him was insane. Like, maybe I'm overhyping that, but I think that was one of the best flashes I've seen on the TCL stage. That was nuts to me. Also, they committed so much onto that Malphite, and he took so long to kill, but they managed to kite it out. That was nuts. I thought that was so hard winning for BMS during the middle of that fight, but PPP turned it. Jax also, I think, got the 600 gold shutdown onto Control, so he should be back. I think Jax is back, y'all.
Yeah, that's the biggest scary. That's the scary thing with Jax is if he can get moving, if he can get 1 or 2 of those kills, he does. We'll have to get the gold in a sec, but I want to stay on the items and look at this Ryoklu. We had a call out on the Ziggs 4-0-2. We were talking about Control having perfect kill participation when they were at 5. They're now at 6. Ryoklu perfect kill participation, really kind of turning the page on. I'm gonna say it. Ryoklu had a bit of a rough season, but is now getting jumped on right now. Nice juke and another magical, excuse me, not magical journey. It's gonna be whatever that Bartle is called.
What's Bartle?
I haven't cast Bartle. Tempered Fate. There we go. Wow. Good Tempered Fate to stop things. And Bard, that versatility of being able to kind of engage, counter-engage, do whatever he wants. And Espen really piloting this champion well and making the most of a lot of very, very weird abilities.
Good. He's doing so good.
He is. It's great.
Like, I don't play Bard because when I said what does that champion do, I'm very familiar with the abilities. It's just I find it so hard to be effective because he's so different than any other support. Like, I'm a simple man. I press button, other champion doesn't move. That's kind of what I do, right?
Yeah, press R, champion.
Bard doesn't work like that. Like, he's much, much harder to effectively pilot. Honestly, I'm going to put him like Thresh in that regard, but even more difficult just because you have so many options with your kit for how you're going to use it. And
well, also, a lot of
on
things
a show
with
right
Bard,
now.
A lot of things with Bard can go wrong, right? That's always what I look at when I see Bard is okay, cool. I could accidentally magical journey the wrong person into my team. I could temper fate and lock my carry in place so that someone can just stun lock them. There's a lot of different ways that things can go wrong. I could roam forever and strand my carry. You got a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it looks like this bot lane has really kind of figured out what they want to be when they grow up, which is wonderful to see. And it's also nice to see them trying something different, and most importantly, that it's working in a quarterfinal as we see Control grabbing the blue buff, heading down, and going to continue to try and get things moving. This is something that we saw when we were playing with Control. Is he's ahead, go jump in there. Can I see bot lane, please? Oh, we're going to see a tower dive. Control solo killing A-Barn. I just saw him jump in, getting the solo kill onto A-Barn, but meanwhile, we actually have Sir Aaron leading a tower dive, knocking out Music. And yeah, the Jax appears to be online. I did see a call out as well in chat that Spurg's form has also hit. He's in red form.
Late.
So he's got the knockup. It is late, but he's got the knockup finally. And
Absolutely.
that was my big criticism of this team, is that they don't have as much CC, and the CC is a lot harder to land. So getting that knockup, while it is still a bit hard to land, is big for the Penguin Pajama Party as they are continuing to make macro plays. But on the other side of the map, A-Barn is not going to be able to split push that way. Control will murder him, and that's exactly what he did when left to his own
Look at him going
devices.
into Hex Drinker second right now. A-Barn knows how and where he dies this game, and it is at the end of Control's kunai, right? Like, the man is preparing to see that a lot more with the Hex Drinker buy. We'll see if it's going to be enough. Control's kind of massive. I think Shadow Flame next with those components, which means it's just going to be more damage, because I think Shadow Flame gives like flat pen and then more if you're shielded, stuff like that. So yeah, the guy's scaling. And what we talked about, no tanks. Control's going to be able to carry this game if he gets enough damage.
Yeah, another itemization note is that Music is going double auto attacker armor. So he's going Bramble. He's got Bramble Vest and he has Frozen Heart. So he's like going to be going either likely into a Thornmail. I mean, I don't know if he's going to go into randoms. But we see Control jumping onto Spurg. Spurg going a little bit low, but Rick is coming in trying to get the root down. Rick, not able to get quite in there. Great satchel to knock him out. Yep, and A-Barn's going to be going in, gets knocked up. He gets incredibly low, and Speedy just destroys him. Temper Fate a little bit late. And IREP doing some serious work on this Blitzcrank as we are kind of 21 and change in this game one. Gold dead even. Looking at the objectives, Objectives a little bit in favor of Penguin Pajama Party in terms of tower control, but 2 dragons on the side of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages to the 1, and it looks like they're about to even out this tower and pull themselves ahead. Yeah, so now Beautiful Mutant Sausage is definitely with the advantage, but I'm curious to see if this gold advantage on the top lane from Sir Aaron is going to offset the itemization from the Malphite, because at a certain point, Jax is just going to get slowed into oblivion and hurt himself a lot. But the triple auto attackers on the side of Penguin Pajama Party, that is fairly straightforward to itemize against with the double tanks that they have.
Super small note here, but I hate it when I'm a support and I'm trying to hold a wave and my carries are sitting in a bush going after a ward. Like, they just lost 4 minions to tower, including a cannon minion, because they were clearing a ward in Raptor Pit, both the Kayn and the Jax. Not ideal. Really small thing. Just the little things that give you that bit more gold, right? We do have next dragon coming up, which will be the objective that they're all looking at, because with the way that they've been accelerating this game, with all the kills that they have, because you have Speedy on 2 items, not the most traditional Xayah items, I believe. I'm pretty sure that build's pretty outdated, but give him 1 more and he'll be caught up when he does finally get that IE. But yeah, I mean, this dragon, putting them on soul point, could be enormous for how they force BMS to play into them, right?
No clue.
Playing with fire? Yeah, I missed it, but I'm assuming there was a hook.
Playing with explosives, yeah. She was sitting on a ward. She was sitting on a warded brush and still juked the blitz hook over the wall. That was pretty solid.
Well, she's playing great tonight.
Yeah, she is locked in. She is vibing. Something else I did want to call out as we see a dragon dance beginning. Oh, teleport coming in, so I might need to hold that thought. But Speedy is, I'm going to hold that thought. Temper Fade being grabbed, hook in response. So Evan gets pulled in, immediately Magical Journey's out. Here comes the Twisted Advance from Microsoft. Rick into the backline, going to try to knock it. IREP somehow survives as the rest of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages dive into the carries. Ryoklu goes down, big shutdown. Another shutdown. Control just in the backline, just abusing those low mobility, high mobility, squishy carries. Certain Aaron not even in the fight, gonna take this turret down. So a little bit of a miscommunication from that team. Sir Aaron with that fight might have been able to make something happen, but the teleport still up for him as he's going to take this top outer down. So not sure if that's really going to bite him, but this is soul point for the Beautiful Mutant Sausages, and another couple of kills for Control as this bottom outer goes down. So I'm not quite so sure holding that teleport was the right decision.
That was just a really well executed team fight, even with the number advantages from BMS. Like, Rick's flank was incredible. He was on the backline. I think his ult hit like 3 people. Just like point blank locked them down. IREP started off with a hook, and then once both your carries flashed over the wall and Control followed it, it's like, yeah, they're both dead. No mobility left. A collie on their face. Goodbye. That's all it is. And I mean, with that, Control is almost to his 3rd item. With only 7 stacks on his Dark Seal because he did die that one time. But I mean, I think he's okay with that.
Yeah, he'll be just fine, and he does a really great job of keeping his Medjais safe when he does eventually turn it into a Medjais. We saw that, I believe, with the Syndra, where he got to 14. I believe he almost top stacked it, where he got to 20 stacks, but he got 14, 15, and Control is now. No one is safe at this point with Control having the damage that he has. You were correct. Shadowflame was landed, and it was finished up, so going to be able to get a little bit extra stuff. Aburn is there as well, so not sure if they're going to try to bait him out. Control, yeah. Control's sniffing that out, so he's just gonna piece it. But now he's having to draw at least 1, if not 2 members of the Penguin Pajama Party to just deal with him. Music also pushing in the side wave, doing a bit of kind of off lane side pushing, making sure that there's a decent wave pushing up there and forcing Penguin Pajama Party to respond. So as we're approaching that magical 30-minute mark, we are seeing the macro play start to emerge. The side lane management, the buff management, the global objective pushes. Vision advantage definitely in favor of the Penguin Pajama Party. If we look at the Baron side of things, Dragon down for a while. So Penguin Pajama Party poised to take this Baron and really convert it into something that they really need right now, because they're at a 3,000 gold, or a little less than 3,000, 2,000 gold deficit. I'd say a little more than a 2,000, a little less than 3,000. That's math. And they really need something, especially after that last fight. And quite frankly, they need Sir Aaron in that fight in order to make sure that they can make it happen.
Yeah, and something that you called out in specifically, we haven't talked about in general, is the fact that PPP has 3 TPs on their side. Before, like when we were in Champ Select, loading into the actual game itself, we talked about how in order to execute this team comp, they're going to be very diligent and calculated with how they're moving their champions around the map to affect that split push, and they have the tools. Like right now, they have all 3 TPs. Looks like they are sniffing around the Baron. They do see they don't see Malphite yet, but I mean, they have the numbers advantage for the moment with neither TPs up on the other side, so they have the advantage, and this engage should be really good for the side of BMS.
Yeah, we see Tempered Fate being landed.
Sorry,
flashes out from Microsoft Rick, but Microsoft Rick able to land his ulti. But now we're seeing a hardcore dive in. All of the feathers are there. I don't know if you want to cross that line. Sir Aaron decides that he does. He's going to be a little brave, and they are going to be able to take out Microsoft Rick. So Smite is off the map right now for Beautiful Mutant Sausages, and we can hear Abaron going, Baron, Baron, Baron. Either Baron or set it up because several ultis are down, and they need to make sure they do not get hooked. But Penguin Pajama Party could very much get what they need, but both Smites are down.
Yeah, I mean, I very much agree with BMS hard forcing that fight. They had the numbers advantage. It's just the tanks are very tanky right now. Abarn's what, like 06 right now? Yeah. He doesn't have the damage to shred through them, and when Kane's on the back line 1v3 and one of those 3 is an Akali, he can only buy so much time.
Yeah, and it looks like Control's not really scared because they're, I'd said it before, the lack of hard CC, the lack of peel on the side of the Penguin Pajama Party is really hurting Abarn and Ryoklu because Control is just able to do whatever he wants. And I'm trying to think of what they would use in order to just lock Control up. They would need to do basically a hard kind of absorb counter engage fight, but that's just not going to work because if they're all grouped up like that, Malphite's just going to ult them. So this is where the BMS composition is paying off. At this point, Blood had mentioned it with 3 teleports. You had mentioned it as well. This is potentially a 1-3-1 situation to get Abarn back into the game. With getting the Jax to split push, potentially getting the Tristana to split push, and then just kind of rotating and having vision control in order to make sure that you don't get caught by the Akali. Speaking of getting caught, Sir Aaron, gonna get jumped in. He's gonna get chunked down, try to go into the middle of everyone, but he is just going to die. Tempered Fate not able to save him, so that is a free pickoff as Dragon is up, and this should be a pretty easy soul for Beautiful Mutant Sausages. It's gonna be an Ocean Soul just to make their sustain even more annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, Saren. It's hard. You walk in for vision, you die. All 5 of them in the bush. It happens. And there's that CC that we talked about, right? It's lacking on PPP, but not by any means on BMS. And this is kind of playing out exactly how we said, right? If PPP falls too far behind in the early game, they're going to be forced into these objective fights that they don't have the composition to win. That's exactly what we saw right there with the Soul fight. Obviously helped by the fact that they got a pick, but that's just IREP doing well on the Blitzcrank. And now Espen's in a bit of a tight spot. Oh,
man. Yeah, Espen able to get out. Spur getting a knock-up, but that's all he's able to do. And we're seeing some seriously beefy boys on the side of Beautiful Mutant Sausages just taking towers and objectives broadly for free. And if they can just go get some vision control on this Baron side, which it looks like that's exactly what they're looking to do, they could likely take this Baron uncontested because there's really not a whole lot. I'm not really seeing kind of the win con that Penguin Pajama Party is able to accomplish without some kind of split push situations. We see Sir Aaron pushing. He's starting to get movement. He's got a spare Sojin. He's got his 2 items, but he's not quite that unstoppable Jax that's going to require multiple people. I believe he can solo music at this point, but
he should be able to. Yes, but yeah. I mean, I think what's more important is if I'm BMS, I'm not thinking like, hey, my Malphite needs to match the split. I'm thinking, hey, my Malphite needs to stand under a turret, make sure Jax doesn't go crazy, and then I'll TP in and end the game. Or
Yeah.
win the fight. Win the fight. That's what I meant.
Yeah, very much so. A Desperation Baron on the side of the Pink Pajama Party, not really able to chunk him down super hard, but we see Control going in, going to follow the Magical Journey. Control does not care at this point. Malphite able to get a couple of different routes down. Control diving into the backline, getting a kill, and he's just going to continue to just ravage this backline. That should be a double kill for him, potentially a triple kill. Not able to get the reset marker and dive back in, and wow, Speedy, what a jerk, ruining the triple kill for Control. But yeah, they're beautiful Mutant Sausages in complete control, able to get this Baron for free, and they should be able to follow that up with a very, very simple siege down into the inhibitor turret and be able to work them way to a Game 1 win. All of that being said, Rudy, this is a best-of-5 series. There's plenty of League of Legends left to be played, and so while Penguin Jam Party not necessarily able to do what they wanted to, I really like this composition from them, and I think there's some very small adjustments they could make to make this a series.
Absolutely, and no flame to individuals, but it starts with not dying a lot in lane. Like, I mean, yeah, I rep camped the heck out of it. Maokai was there and was flashing on you at level 4. But Abar needs to find a way to survive that, right? Like the Tristana can buffer the jump against the Blitzcrank hook. You need to play the micro a little bit better to give your comp a chance to play into the game. Also, you got to be more connected on the comms. Like we've seen it a couple of times, but the disconnect in the calls is definitely there. I think in the last fight we just witnessed, Control followed the Bard through the Magical Journey, and Espen, as Bards do, stunned him immediately, right? With that, Spurg went back in as soon as Abarn hopped out. Excuse me, which is why, stretching that fight out, Control was able to just kill everything. The man's huge. He's at 4 items. And I don't think he's going to die again for the rest of this game with that stopwatch. It's going to be very, very difficult, and I think it's just, I mean, as it has been since he got that first blood, his game to do whatever he wants.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And that's going to be that. Yeah, this is going to be kind of that classic Baron siege that we've seen a million times. Tempered Fate jumping onto Rick, not going to be enough. Great knock up from Spurg, so this is going to be the fight that they're going to be looking for just to kind of stop the bleeding at this point. But Sir Aaron, way too deep, not strong enough to be able to do what he wants to do on Jax. Control's going to dive in, go godlike, and just knock out Abaron, going golden as well, taking a couple of hits, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Inhibitor turret goes down, Inhibitor is soon to follow. IREP is just flying in, going to try to grab things. All right, Ryoku, nicely done. Cool micro play, as we were talking about. But this is going to be Nexus turrets going down, Nexus soon to follow, and this is going to be Game 1 for the beautiful Mutant Sausages, looking to continue what they did against Penguin Pajama Party in the regular season. Really strong play by them on the back of a terrifying Akali.
Yeah, that was just very, very well played. I'm gonna give that like across the board. Like everyone did. Speedy didn't have any too flashy things, but he absolutely did his job, right? Honestly, like the amount of pressure that Rick put on Abarn early game was a lot to absorb. And across the board, they were where they needed to be when they needed to be there. A couple of outplays, slight throws on overchases, but yeah, I mean, solid, convincing Game 1 of, as you said, 5 in this series tonight. So I think we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I think it's actually going to be a shorter break than normal because, as we've said like 3 times, we'll be back in like 3 minutes with Game 2. Everyone, don't go anywhere.
That's my line. Don't go.
The world from the eye of the Horus. If you Alexander the Great, then I am the forest. Coming straight from the mud like I am a lotus. So हाथियों का बल कैसे सकेगा तू मुझे रोका. देख तू कैसे मैं लड़ूं, तुम लोगों से ऐसे ना डरूं. करूं मैं जिससे मैं तरुण, पानी पे चलूं मैं जिससे मैं वरुण. चाहे मैं जीऊं या मरूं, जो करना चाहूं मैं वही तो करूं. आता है तू ना करीब, तू बेटे चीप, जब तक कटे ना तेरी ये जीप. Better believe you're gonna bleed. Pick up a seat, get your team. I'm the king of kings. Brother in arms in a battle. You all gonna die if you act like a vandal. Bring the realms of reality from every angle. This is the public service announcement from Mumbai to the rest of the world. I am a Raja. I am the Raja. राजा भिड़ेगा तो उठेगा जनाजा ना तू मेरी तरफ आना आ गया तो होगा फिर तनाजा ना ये भारतीय भाषा फिर दुनिया सुनेगी ये तराना ना 'Cause I am the Raja 'Cause I am the Raja What do you see? I'm more than average, man. I'm a maverick. I can grow flowers on a barren land. Break a mountain with my bare hands and step back and cause a literal avalanche. Should've been about traveling. अष्टभुजाएं मेरी जैसे मैं टरेंचुला ना है कोई तोड़ मेरा जब से पूर्वजों का ज्ञान मिला मेरे जैसा मिलेगा कोई ना तू और चाहे जो भी था सबकी कबर मैंने खोदी क्या तुम लगाओगे बोलियां कम पड़े गोलियां चंद्रगुप्त में मौर्य या दिला तू लोरियां come to me and you just gonna die that's really a given I am invincible and you are invisible see that's really a difference get out of my way I'll leave the world the choice is yours I don't kill my enemies I play with them that's what the toys are for from Mumbai to the rest of the world I am the Raja भिड़ेगा तो उठेगा जनाजा ना तू मेरी तरफ आना आ गया तो होगा फिर तनाजा ना ये भारतीय भाषा फिर दुनिया सुनेगी ये तराना ना 'Cause I am the Raja 'Cause I am the Raja
And welcome back, everybody, to our second quarterfinals of the week. I do believe our man, Mr. Steve Jaws, is still grabbing water. You know, he is in another country right now, so I think it is completely acceptable. No hard time in the stream. We just saw the first in our 5-game series play out with PPP taking a rough defeat against Control's Akali that was piloted pretty close to perfection. I think the man ended up like 9-1 or something ridiculous like that.
Hey, Rudy, how much time do we have?
Oh, we are live right now, Mr. Jaws.
Great.
Yeah. Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks, bud. I didn't realize that took more than 3 minutes.
Oh, all good. But yeah, I was just telling everybody how Control kind of pooped on them with Akali in game 1. But there were really some flashes from the composition of PPP that I was a fan of. Honestly, the bright spot to me was the Bard. That might just be because I was blown away by somebody making Bard look like playable. But Espen just looked so comfortable on the pick. He was like, I think 1-0 and or 1-1-5, 1-1-6 at some point. Going around the map, being pretty effective, helping his laner pressure the ADC and flashing after to get a kill. The guy looked good on it, and I was a big fan of that pick. I think the Ziggs Bard lane, while not a traditional one, well, I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Ziggs can farm by herself, and Bard can go do Bard things.
Oh yeah, no, I love the bot lane from Penguin Pajama Party. They just
yeah.
Yeah, no, she really did. They got to figure out what to do with, as you mentioned, they got to figure out kind of what to do with the solo laners. Sir Aaron just wasn't able to make the impact that they were hoping for, and it just seemed like macro-wise they weren't really ready for that split push. And Abarn just couldn't get going. It seemed like they applied a ton of pressure to him, and then the outer lanes just weren't able to kind of make up for that. We did also call out a couple of kind of specific mechanical flubs where he got hooked, and I don't know, maybe he had jump up, maybe he didn't have jump up. But that's a pretty straightforward buffer if you play Tristana. So there's just certain things where they just didn't quite go his way. And on the other side of Beautiful Mutant Sausages, you got to call out Control for just going absolutely bananas on the side of, just with the Akali, being able to kind of do what he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, great things from both sides. I mean, obviously, BMS, sorry, I keep getting the teams confused. BMS was in the driver's seat for most of that, but we saw some really good flashes. It's got to be that mid-jungle duo that steps it up, because even Sir Aaron was ahead early, fell behind after the Herald play, and then got right back into it, right? He didn't TP that one fight, but again, maybe by that point, the fight was over. Who knows? I wasn't in the game. I wasn't on the comms. There might have been no opportunity, and he just like, okay, got to take that top lane turret, get what we can on the map, right? I need to see more from Spurg and Abarn if they want to come back into this tournament, because Rick and Control are looking great for that mid jungle duo.
Yeah, they're looking mighty fine in terms of what they want to be doing, and yeah, it looks like both teams are ready. So we're going to be getting into champion select shortly, but that is the downside of having control on the other side of the lane, is that he can kind of do whatever he wants depending upon the champion he picks, and you got to throw a lot at him, and they threw a lot at him in terms of bans, and he's still able to come up with something special. So here we go into champion select game 2. Beautiful Mutant Sausages up 1 game, and that Mordekaiser pick, I just cannot get it out of my head how much it has really taken away so much of Sir Aaron's power in this champion select.
I think that champion's been kind of meta-defining since the beginning. Since week 1, when we saw Sir Aaron pick it, I think 3 games in a row and do well on it 3 games in a row. But not just Sir Aaron, other top laners have done it too, and I think that's the thing about Mordekaiser is, even if you don't crush lane, even if you're not perfect with the champion, you don't know how to like do the E to pull them away from you while you're running away, like the small micro things that come with playing the champion quite a bit. At the end of the day, you press R on the carry, that carry's not in the fight. That's all there is to it, and that's an extremely powerful tool for the style of league that is played in TCL, typically. I think those are, the same 3 bans from BMS, and if we see, oh gosh, I don't remember what the last one was. But the first 2 are the same from the side of PPP so far. We'll see it here in a second.
Yes,
Ori,
no, it's...
I think that's the same bans across the board.
Yes, they are the same. Although I do believe that Orianna was potentially a later ban, but no, this all looks about the same in terms of what we were looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah,
nobody's saying like there was a single champion that was the problem. I think compositionally there are a couple things they can mix up, but Speedy's like in the Xayah, another champion that's been extremely prevalent. It's safe, it scales, it does damage, self-peel, CC. It kind of has a bit
What's
of everything.
not to like?
Yeah, I love it. Xayah is so good.
Yeah, no,
Run back to bot lanes. Let's do it, boys.
Yeah, might as well, right?
I mean, that worked pretty well for the side of PPP.
Yeah, it's pretty wild at this point. But yeah, there's a lot of things to like about the Xayah, and there's also a lot of things to like about the Ziggs. The question for me is, are they going to bring the Blitzcrank? The Blitzcrank looked fantastic. And IREP as a roaming support, able to match. We see the Poppy being snagged for Spurge, so looking for a little bit of a... Yeah. But yeah, Spurge's just looking for a little bit more peel on what he's looking for. Apologies, I'm actually trying to figure out how to manage my battery, so I'm probably gonna have to. Sorry, folks. I'm gonna have to turn my camera off because I actually don't. I took GPS to get here. I have no idea how to get back. So
that is more important.
So I'm gonna turn my video off to make sure that I can actually get back to my hotel.
As much as we love seeing your face, it's more important that you don't get lost in another country.
That's
so please
fine. I'll figure it out. So, like I don't speak the language or anything. Anyway, Sion being grabbed on the side of for potentially IREP, potentially music.
It's a triple flex. Rick plays.
Yeah, I love these triple flexes from
I hate them
from BMS. They are so much fun to play the guessing games on. We see the Tristana hover. That is the kind of hover that I am here for, because Control knew exactly what he wanted to pick, and he just wanted to kind of throw it in Abarn's face. And I'm here for that, because the Maokai's there. We now have another flex where it's, oh man, I love how Beautiful Mutant Sausages do their champion select, where they have so much flexibility. Jax, so Saren going back to the well on the Jax, grabbing it early. I don't think they were going to ban it, so I'm kind of surprised that he did that. Malphite, however, being banned away, so it looks like they're going to force music onto something that is less of a kind of direct, I'm going to make Jax's life annoying, especially early game. Sion and Maokai can be a bit problematic. We see the Rise being banned against Abarn. But yeah, definitely, Jax is definitely going to be a better matchup against the Sion or the Maokai than he is against the Malphite. So that may have been a Sir Aaron raising his hand and going, hey, if I want to play Jax, I'd love to not go against Malphite. And the team going, that sounds great, bro. Let's see what the last ban is going to be, and if it's going to be a Kali. Because, woo boy, that was a problem last time.
Having that R3 pick is really valuable, because you then get the chance to ban away the counters without the other team having a chance to react. So I think it's a smart pick if you're planning to do it. And again, Stratton looked pretty good on the champion. A couple of small things that could have been like micro optimized, but I had no complaints about his Jax play there. None at all. And it does still give you that scaling threat to where if this game goes long enough, he will be unmatched in the side lane.
Yeah, and looking like they are trying to push Abarn back onto this Tristana. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The only variation being the the Scion instead of the Malphite, and then on the Penguin Pajama Party side, the Poppy adjustment. But overall, this comp is completely unchanged. So potentially another carry in. They're gonna need an AD carry. So look, I would be shocked if Abarn didn't go back to
Irelia? Question mark.
The Tristana. Potentially, but they just don't have the ranged auto attacking, right? They don't have the ranged sustained damage, which is fairly important. And if the Jax isn't with them, Ziggs does have fairly good demolition. Oh, the Nico for control.
Okay.
That's going to be really, really fun.
Very excited to talk about that when you get our 3 minutes to kill time, because I saw one of the most disgusting things ever on a YouTube short yesterday. I'll tell you about it when we get there. I'm going to save it.
Did the whatchamacallit get hotfix the tank the tank minion turret armor? Did that get
no idea if that got fixed?
Yet?
But there's something more disgusting that I'm excited to tell you about.
Oh boy!
So with that, I'm gonna call that as a Maokai support Renekton top Scion jungle. I think Scion is most comfortable in Rick's hands, although I think we'd all think it. Well, yeah, it has to be Renekton top, and I think Maokai's a better support than Scion.
Rick plays. I mean, Rick played Maokai great. He plays Maokai and Scion, so we could still see. Okay, there it is. Really well. There's that auto attacker we were looking for.
I mean, you got
the Yone,
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
The
reason why I pause. So the reason I always pause on the Jax when I'm looking at it is the Jax. If things are going well, the Jax is not with the team, right? The Jax is split pushing. So you need someone that isn't Ziggs. Now, to be fair, with Ziggs empowered autos, Ziggs can absolutely blow the crap out of turrets, but you need someone else that can apply threat. Personally, I always like having, some kind of auto attacker carry. I mean, hell, you could go Caitlyn mid, but that might be a bit rough against a Nico. Yone versus Nico, I'm not as familiar with the matchup. However, I will say that Renekton versus Jax, I'm excited about that one. That is a primo skill matchup. Renekton wins early, Jax wins late. There's some very specific power spikes that hit. Would love to hear Blood's take, because Blood plays both of these champions. I love Renekton. He's one of my most played champions top lane. So I think that top lane matchup is going to be super duper fun. But yeah, curious about how this thing, and more importantly, I want to hear what y'all have to say. Get in here, armchair analysts. Love to hear what y'all think. Is this going to be a 2-0 setting it up for the sweep, or are Penguin Pajama Party going to stop, slow, or otherwise annoy the momentum of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages and make this a best of 3 series?
So, a couple of things. One, Gamba is live in the chat. If anybody pops in, we'll grab them. But, so, you know how Nico can take the form of like anything on the map now, right?
Correct.
When she does, she gets some of their base stats like move speed and attack speed. This is important because when she copies one of the baby raptors, that raptor's attack speed is 2.5 and its move speed is something ridiculous. Which means there are literally videos of Nico's staying as the baby raptor for the entire game, building straight on hit and one-shotting things by autoing them like 2 or 3 times and just running them down. Like, I will send you the clip. It is disgusting. I
hope we see it.
I think Control knows it because I think Toasty sent it to our group, and like Mid saw it. So if Mid saw it, he probably showed it to Control too. My God, if he does that, this will be the best game we've ever seen. Like, it's so funny, Jaws. It's so good.
That sounds incredible. I am here for this. That is, and that is really the matchup that we're going to be looking for. That was the matchup that spurred things in the direction. And we will say that prior to this series, there's been a lot of jibber jabber going on within that mid lane.
A lot of talk, yeah.
And I will say, Control talks But Control doesn't always talk. Control isn't always the first one to talk, but he's usually the last one to talk. And there's a reason for that. And
Mm-hmm.
Abron's been doing a lot of chirping himself. So we'll have to see if Nico does a little chirp with the baby Raptors and makes
That would
makes Abarn kind of sit down
that would
because
make my week, man. If he does
I will
that,
say
that'll be
game
so
one
good.
was game one, even though he had help. Yeah, that was a pretty
Mhm.
commanding performance, and I mean that's what Abarn's going to need to have. He needs to get these Bard roams. He needs to get some Poppy support. Poppy not really a hardcore ganking jungler, but I do like the kind of ejector seat that Poppy can put onto the team and to reset the fight because
Mhm.
there's a lot of kind of hard engage. But yeah, I don't know, Rudy. What do you think?
So
What's comp are you liking here?
completely agree with you about everything you just said about Control. The dude's good at the game, and he proves it time after time. Put some respect on his name. But on the flip side, Abarn is on Yone, a champion that he has shown this season that he can do really good things on against very good mid laners. I think when they played against the current league leader, team name escaping me right now. How is it this hard? Are you kidding me?
Team
Bush's
Snake?
team. Yeah, Team Snake.
Oh,
That's
oh
hilarious
yeah.
because I was going to talk about how Abarn solo killed Sandy Snake, like I think who is considered the safest, most controlled mid laner in the league twice during the laning phase, 1-on-1. So he did take that Ignite versus the TP on the Nico side, which is just, I mean, let's see if Abarn can do it again, right? He's shown that he's very good in lane. Yone is another champion that scales just extremely hard. So he has potential, just like always. You can't ever count Abarn's teams out.
No, you absolutely cannot. And especially once we get into, 25, 30 minutes, if they can get everybody on the same page. They just had just the steamroll that was Control. And yeah, that is totally fair. That being said, Control and mid play very differently from Sandy, right? Sandy's more of a,
Mhm.
I'm going to control the lane state. I'm going
Yeah.
to kind of do my thing. Whereas Control and mid are like, oh, you want to fight?
Yeah, mid is like, what
Oh,
is
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
We can fight. So Yone is kind of that kind of,
Mhm.
Yone's that kind of a champion. All of that being said, Abarn has the summoner advantage, so we have to call that out. It does have the Ignite, and we're potentially seeing a level 1 situation against Control. I was going to say Speedy Bandito. It is Control. Control having to flash out Ignite, being burned, but it is the support Ignite. So now Abarn with a double sum advantage, right? Has the flash advantage and has Ignite to the teleport of Control. So that's a great start for the Penguin Pajama Party and a great kind of level 1 setup. Some would consider it a BM, but I consider that fair game
Oh,
in this
absolutely.
series.
I literally, before my last series, I'm like, if that mid laner is dancing, I want you to hit him. Of course, mid didn't do it because if he gets a chance to spam emotes, he will. So just sat there spamming them. And I'm like, you know what? If I was a better player, I'd kick you off the team, but I kind of need my Masters mid laner, so I can't do that.
Was that when Verd was baking cookies?
No, that was a different game. That was
Okay.
the night right before we played, and that's what like got me to tell mid, like, hey, if that happens to you, I need you to hit him a couple of times. But he didn't do it because mid has more respect and is more troll than I am.
Yeah, I still think that was probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. As we see some really hard trading in the top lane, Renekton needs to get his level 3. Sir Aaron getting the advantage and taking full advantage of that advantage. As we see the lane being pushed in.
Hey, you're not
Music
wrong.
Needs to get this,
You're not wrong.
Music needs to get this level 3. The level 1 Jax is so strong with that E, being able to dodge the autos and being able to get that stun off. Okay, so now Jazz has a really solid set of Fury built up. Going to be able to sustain through this big wave as long as he doesn't get jaxed, for lack of a better term. And
level 3,
Jax, yeah, Sir, and getting level 3, Music does not have that stun quite yet, but he's a little overextended, and Microsoft Rick is here. Sir Aaron, however, just getting a solo first blood. Let's see if Rick is able to turn things around, but Control on the wrong side of a 1v2. It looks like he's potentially going to die. Yes, he is. So Abarn's going to get the kill. Sir Aaron getting a solo kill, and Penguin Pajama Party off to a fantastic start as Renekton teleport is burned in. Oh no, Control actually teleported back into lane, so teleport is down as well, but IREP is there to push the wave in as Abarn is forced to farm under turret.
Yeah, IREP on the roam. What's new here, Great poke coming down. Ryoklu completely out of mana now. That is going to be a difficult wave to push. But all in all, man, do we love a 3-hit passive or what? That Jax is, that was something. Obviously, Music did not expect to die. He had flash. He could have bought more space. Oh my gosh, Espen.
Oh boy, yeah, Espen is low. Speedy is low as well, however, and that's going to be an absolutely dead Speedy. As Espen gets knocked into the turret by IREP, he's going to die. Ryoklu is out of mana as well, so IREP should... Okay, he just forces the
really
flash
good
to get
flash.
out. So
really
IREP, yep, great heads-up roam, going mid and then going back bot lane and taking full advantage of an overzealous flash from Espen. But yeah, the solo laners on the side of Penguin Pajama Party definitely have way more of an advantage, and they're making sure that they're sharing the love across the board. Everybody has a kill or an assist on that team. Much better start for this game too.
Yeah, it seems like it's Spurg's turn to set up that tent. And I do not say that in any flame way. A lot of the times the right play is camp the crap out of the lane and put them behind, right? I mean, you were talking earlier about Poppy not being the most effective early ganker. Completely agree with that. But I would also say better than a Kayn before he has his form. At least there's the potential for some CC, right? And you can run in there real quick. Don't have the angles that the Kayn does, but Spurg showing some presence, as you said. And honestly, just, yeah, great solo lane play from Sir Aaron right now. Man, looks like he's on form. He's going to go for it.
Oh, man, yeah, he's going to go for the tower dive. And Music, let's go. Getting the solo kill under the turret. That Renekton sustained full fury is just nasty. And Sir Aaron disrespected it. Music looking good, getting where he needs to be, and making sure that this lane does not get out of control as we approach the 6-minute mark.
That W auto was in the air. Like, oh my gosh, that was so close to killing him. Saren obviously would have been very fine with that, with the wave crashing, but no, as you said, Music saved it. And the thing about Renekton is, yeah, level 3 very strong, but so are the rest of the levels until like 11 when he starts to like be a little bit less effective, right? The Jax got the early lead, and that was so important in the matchup because I don't feel as good for Sir Aaron now that Renekton has that Iron Spike Whip. He's got some of those base stats that are gonna help his abilities. The abilities themselves have such high base numbers that it's gonna be a bit of a harder lane. It's not gonna have the same bully potential they did before.
Oh yeah, Magical Journey gonna get Espen out of there. But yeah, IREP and Speedy just looking to bully this poke lane. But Espen and Ryoklu able to kind of bully on their own as Spurg comes in, flash out from IREP, counter flash from Spurg, able to get the angle onto Speedy. One more auto attack should do it. Oh, Speedy! Yeah, the last Q is going to get it.
Right
so Ryoklu able to get the kill. And so despite an early, potentially early rough situation, kind of going back and forth on this bot lane, the poke Ziggs Bard seems to be doing incredibly well as Abarn jumping in onto control, trading a couple of things. Spurg is there, not just pitching a tent in the mid lane, so making his presence felt. Loved that flash from him in order to get the angle and set up that kill. But yeah, Spurg going for a much harder ganking jungler. And I'm going to eat my words. I said before, Poppy's not a great ganking jungler, but Spurg is making a strong case for that Poppy. And as we see the ultimate going down, flash out from control, making him go up, making him go down, gets the not quite able to do it, and Spurg gets out. So that's going to be a clean kill. And the jungler getting out and going back to farming. Great play from Penguin Pajama Party.
That was so well played by Spurg. I really thought that control was out, but nope. Still had the E, it's not a body slam, whatever. Heroic charge, maybe? No, her W is
heroic charge.
Okay, nice. Good for me. You know, there's so much knowledge in the back of your mind that you just, it comes to you when you need it. That's all it is. You know, if you ask me at any time, I'd say I have no idea what it's called, but sometimes your mouth just fills in the words.
I got one for you. What is Poppy's ult?
Hammer of Dickening. Was that close?
No, not even. No, I'm pretty sure that would have gotten through the sensors. Keeper's Verdict.
Okay.
Keeper's Verdict. The answer.
I know the W.
The answer we were looking for, Rudy, was Keeper's Verdict.
That was pretty close.
Unfortunately, you have not won the prize, and you have now been banned from casting for all eternity, which means I will now have to solo cast.
Oh no,
So-
I don't get to cast a 5-game series.
I know.
Dang it.
I know.
Nah, I
You're gonna have
love
to put
being
your
here.
sleeves back on. So
Okay, you can't
unfortunately,
make me do that. That's just cruel. I will be comfortable in my own home, or I will not be anywhere. That's how that
That's-
works.
Fair enough. Anyway, approaching 9 minutes. Very slight gold lead. We're going to see a tower dive coming. Control is there trying to make something happen as he's taking a ton of turn hits. He's going to get out with a sliver of health. Espen's going down, so that's going to be a double kill for microscopic Rick on this jungle Scion. And Beautiful Mutant Sausage is making some moves. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Abarn grabbing some plates. I'm not sure if Beautiful Mutant Sausages are going to be able to take this turret down, but they are absolutely going to get it super low. Can I please see bot lane? We know what Yone looks like hitting a mid lane turret. Matt, I know you love Yone, but I want to see what's going on bot lane. All right, so they are going to be able to get, I think they should be able to get this plate. It's going to be close. So Speedy able to get some really solid gold despite
He might have overstayed.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he definitely overstayed. Espen is here, Spurg as well. Espen's just waiting for a good wall in order to pin Speedy to that wall. They should be able to go, there it is, there's the stun, there's the lock, there's the hammer, and an explosive to round things out. Ryoklu is there, able to grab the kill as well, 2-1-1, and we see in the top side teleport beginning to be unleashed as these guys are dead even, which is in favor of Sir Aaron. Music needs to make things happen as we see Dragon being grabbed from the Penguin Pajama Party. So great macro play from them to counteract that turret dive.
Oh my goodness, I thought Control had that for a second. I thought he had it.
Yeah, no, very, very, very close. But I will say, as Control getting back into the mid lane, that top lane is really, really scary for Mutant Sausages. Oh man, as we see Temper Fate being grabbed from Espen. Espen wanting to grab the stun, not quite able to do it. Minions trolling him. Some good chunks from Abarn, but Control's going to be a-okay. But once again, I'm going to try to finish my point on the top lane. This is really well in favor of Sir Aaron. No, I guess I'm not, because IREP is now roaming. He's sitting on a turret. He's going to back. I don't know if Abarn's going to jump on him or just be a jerk. But yeah, Sir Aaron in a much better game state, able to get be even, which means he's ahead in this place. But he just really loves being under Music's turret. I'm not quite sure if that's the place to be. Music needs to kind of exert his will. He does have the flash. Okay, I guess he's going to hold. That's really good discipline from him, not flashing for the Q. Flash Q on Renekton is probably one of the most satisfying things in the world, only followed by Flash W. And we see Spurg hovering around. So now Renekton able to get ahead. IREP getting actually sniped by Ryoklu. So the barrage of explosives in the bot lane, the barrage of crocodile blades in the top lane, and we've got ourselves a fairly even series, less than 300 gold separating this team as we approach the 12-minute mark.
Dude, Ryoklu and Espen, where has this been? I'm loving it right now. Kind of crushing it in the 2v2. Espen dropping low, but he must have gotten a Q on the way out, because I'm pretty sure that was Maokai stunned under the turret. Really, really great play in that, and Spurg does feel comfortable enough to start this up. Guessing they saw the Scion move bot side. Sir Aaron might have died there, but he's back at it, you know? Gave him a buy. He's at all of his components once again, and looking to get busy.
He really is. If he can stop going under turret, he's gonna be A-okay.
That might help. Yeah.
The Rift Herald not going under turret, and you know what the fastest way to not go under turret is if there is not a turret there anymore.
That's a great point.
Spurg going in, and it looks like they may be going for a tower dive here, or at the very least dropping Herald to make sure that this turret goes down, because Sir Aaron looks like he is sick of dealing with this turret, and Music has done a fantastic job of keeping this turret up and making it so that Sir Aaron cannot do what he wants to do on the Jax and kind of apply that split push pressure. But Spurg is here, and it looks like they're setting up a play. Yeah, here comes the Rift Herald. Rift Herald gets popped. Here comes Shelly. Shelly tanking the turret right now, so they're just waiting for the right moment. There goes the stun. They're going to jump onto Music. Music flashing out, really handling this incredibly well. Really holds Sir Aaron under turret, so a 1v2 solo kill for Music, and Spurg has to get out of there because Music can absolutely kill him once the slice and dice is back off cooldown. Music on this Renekton has just been incredible to watch.
Yeah, I mean, again, Music did that really, really well, but a couple of misplays that means that shouldn't have happened, right? Sir Aaron should have been able to buffer his E a little bit better to make sure that they could chain him out of the charge into the wall. And if Spurg would have just had the Steadfast presence up, he wouldn't have gotten on the Jax. But it's fine. I mean, they didn't, and Music played it well, so shout out to him for doing what he does. And honestly, like, Spurg might be in a tough spot right now. Because I'm pretty sure Renekton can one-shot Poppy under turret with full fury.
Yeah, he absolutely can. But Music, disciplined as always, going to be backing off. It looks like he's going to be able to finish off. Yes, he will. He's going to be able to finish off his Gore Drinker. And that is going to be great sustain for him, kind of withstand the blow, as well as continue to drop this thing. But oh man, what bad timing as we see IREP diving into two people. We'll come back to the top lane because in the bot lane we have a fight up Ruin. IREP actually just going to take that ulti to the face and he's just going to go down. I believe he took that magical journey and it was not the journey that he wanted, but really bad timing on the turret plating. Just as Sir Aaron had gone back in, Music had backed off and Sir Aaron was just able to bonk, bonk, bonk.
He does have that demolish,
to dust. Yeah.
He has that demolish, and it wasn't even the magical journey. He just twisted advanced over the wall because he had that ward there. He had the vision. He took that over, and it's just a 2v1 with your jungler and your ADC on your side of the map with no way to join. It's not like that's a Zac they can just bounce in there with you. Not sure what was on IREP's mind, but I never am. We've all seen his builds.
I was going to say, does anyone?
No, not at all. Although, what's he building there? It looks like... it's not righteous, or not righteous, radiant, so probably Locket. Yeah, that's Locket, right? I don't know. I should know, because that's the item I build every game, but whatever. We'll figure it out. Seems like it's a normal build. Yeah, Locket, cool.
Yeah, going to be Locket. Oh, man. Ignite going down. Abarn's going to try and chase this one down. Does get the solo kill and does not get the last turret hit. There we go. That's the pop-off that you were talking about, where it seems like that is the champion where Abarn really feels comfortable popping off. And away he goes. Turret going down. Speedy able to get that bot outer as well. So turret's starting to fall, but mainly on the outer lanes. As we see Rick beating up Spurg. We've got a hammer battle. Actually, sorry, hammer versus axe. Let me be a little bit more specific.
Oh, great angle.
This is now a potential power play. No, IREP is there, but Rick is incredibly low. He's going to need to back off of this and could be... Ooh, Tempered Fate just misses.
I think you want that
Rick's
to hit,
going to have
though.
to back off. Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
What are you doing with that? Also, when did Ryoklu die? I missed that.
Oh, yeah, Ryoklu died.
Yeah, we completely missed that off screen. But, I mean, that's why they were comfortable walking in there and establishing that Baron pressure, because it's really difficult to do that when your bot lane's not there for the side of PPP. But with the solo kill in the mid lane, they're able to get their resets and are right back on this. Roku is pushing on mid right now, has that ult to get involved if she wants to, and BMS is doing the classic watch the enemy take the objective.
Yeah, and that's what we've talked about in the past about, oh, never mind. We see Max Rick presses the go button, teleport's coming in to try to make something happen. You cannot stop that teleport once it has started. Sir Aaron jumping in on Control. Can I see the fight, please? Thank you very much. Control going low, getting pushed out. Sir Aaron going to be able to jump over the wall. Spurg, shield to the face. Sir Aaron, lamp to the face on IREP. Spurg knocks IREP up. Flash out from IREP. They're going to go for the re-engage. Spurg ignited, going low. Speedy's going to go slap, slap, slap. Feathers on your face. Sir Aaron going to try to get the counter kill, but it looks like, wow, he's going to flash in and get it. Nicely done. Gets the shutdown. Here comes the teleport. J-Jazz coming in. Going to get the slice and dice. Not going to be able to finish off the kill. So all told, a very, very messy 2 for 2. I'm not quite sure who that was in favor of, but a long back and forth fight. And it looks like Penguin Pajama Party definitely having, being able to kind of make something happen in these longer fights, which is looking really, really good for them.
I'm pretty sure Rick killed Ryoklu under turret on the other half. Like, both teams were fighting under the enemy's turret. Very, very split fight. Yeah, that feels, I mean, I'd say feels ADC, but honestly, like, that's a tank moment, you know? Like, the Scion's already stacking that HP, has the Iceborne Gauntlet completed, and yeah, what is Ziggs gonna do? You're not killing that. You don't have the space to burn him down. But great engage on the back of that, as you said, picking up some kills on the end of that dragon fight. With that Dragon take, though, PPD is up 2-0, so they have the con, right? The Impetuous is in their impetus, not impetuous. I say that all the time. The impetus is in the, yeah, I know, right? It comes
Great
from
word.
reading a lot as a kid, but not actually hearing the words, you know? So I have like this version in my mind of how they're supposed to be said, but it's not correct.
Aren't words great?
You know, it's kind of weird. Kind of weird, but
Anyway, carry on.
we make these noises.
Oh, see, Rudy, this is the problem. We went on this tangent, and then they're going to fight again. Tempered Fate goes down. Hold that thought. It's just going to hit Rick, but it looks like we're going to have a fight over Shelly. It's going to be a 4-on-4 situation. Control and Abarn in the bottom lane, and we see Poppy ejector seating IREP, and so this is going to be a 3v4 situation, but IREP rolling and strolling back, getting a beautiful ulti onto multiple people of the Penguin Pajama Party, and that's just going to be CC layer upon CC layer, and Penguin Pajama Party have to run for their life as Beautiful Mutant Sausages get everything that they want except for Shelly. So
yeah, I mean,
Herald actually going to the Penguin Pajama Party.
Great re-engage by the side of IREP when he walked back in there. Honestly, like, that's a bit of what you were talking about earlier. Without Abarn there, you don't have that consistent DPS, and we just talked about it. What's Ziggs gonna do against Renekton and Sion? Not the burstiest champion in the bubble, you know? Gotta figure that one out and make sure you're there for those team plays, because when Abarn is split pushing, if he's not like actively taking objectives, then he just has the disadvantage to Control, who has the TP and is able to participate in those objective fights. Abarn, they're gonna have to figure that one out, because again, like, the split push is a lot harder without those 3 TPs that we saw last game.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. And this is the downside of going against Control, where Abarn is being forced to the side lane. Yone is a fantastic split pusher in his own right, but as you mentioned, lacking the sustained physical damage. And Ziggs great against squishy targets, not so much against big beefy boys. And there are 3 of those big beefy boys on the side of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages. Speedy being the only target that could really be the victim of some chunk plays, but doing a pretty solid job, as we see Spur throwing the Rift Herald over the wall and being able to knock out this mid-outer turret, and then potentially going for a tower dive. Tempered Fate misses, and Speedy gonna try to defend against this, but they're gonna go for the double thwack, as we see ulti dropping from IREP, doesn't hit anybody. Microchopper Grit coming up from the bot lane, and we see Sir Aaron actually joining the fight. So now this is a great fight for Penguin Pajama Party. Control getting a pretty solid ulti onto the back line, going golden. Real Clue, though, gonna go for the satchel charge. Double kill for Abarn, as this is now a 2-0, and they're gonna try to continue this one. No, actually, they're just gonna be able to back off. Dragon up in less than a minute, so Penguin Jam Party could potentially take it. Oh, they're actually gonna go for the re-engage. That does get the double stun is Sir Aaron onto IREP and Music, but the rest of the Penguins are not ready for that Pajama Party, even though Sir Aaron tried to start it up again. Dragon, however, spawned, and this is them setting up for Soul Point. You Mutant Sausages do not, they don't have the smite up or in range, so unless they do something really, really special, they're not going to be able to do anything to stop this one. Great shutdown from Sir Aaron, actually getting it. Speedy getting a little overextended. He's super duper low. Rick is there, and Spurga's just soloing this dragon at this point. They are able to secure it, so that's going to be soul point for them. Sir Aaron jumping, but does not have the mana for the jump, and he is going to potentially pay for it with his life. Yes, he will finally go down. Rick, however, will pay for it with his life as well. So a 3-for-1 plus dragon in favor of the Penguin Pajama Party after a 2-for-2 as we're at 22 minutes. So Penguin Pajama Party in the driver's seat, looking like they are making a strong case to make this a best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, right? As I always do, I like to pick out a couple of moments from that fight that really impressed or saddened me. And my favorite thing there was the flash ult from Control. Great. What was even better than that was Abarn using his ult defensively to peel and give Ziggs and Bard a chance to walk out. Oh my gosh, sorry, I got the hiccups. Without that happening, like, that fight goes very differently. So honestly, great discipline by Abarn on holding that. And sometimes, you know, it's not about killing their carries, it's about peeling yours. And not something I expect from a champion like Yone typically, because I know my boy Hippo loves to kill the carries. He does so good a job of it. But with that, 3 dragons over to the side of PPP, but the gold lead itself, only a 1K difference.
Yeah, can we actually see gold, please? I want to kind of see where that gold is, because yeah, this game is still very much on a knife's edge. As we see Espen potentially getting caught out of position. Oh no, that is unfortunate. Beautiful Mutant Sausage is knocking Espen out, but if you look at the gold, yeah, chugga chugga choo choo, straight into a wall. Not going to be able to do anything on that. But yeah, let's take a look at the gold real quick. Slight advantage on the jungle, massive advantage in the mid lane, and a fairly substantial advantage in the bot lane for Speedy and IREP.
Lot of gold on Speedy. The guy has quietly picked up, I think, 6 kills. Yeah, he's 6 and 5 right now. Has the deaths to back it up, but he is scaling. And as we talked about, Xayah does a lot of damage when played correctly, and Speedy sure knows how to play it. So very, very clear opportunities, right, in terms of ways to blow this game open. On the side of PPP, actually, for BMS2, it's gotta be about that Drake focus. Here in 4 minutes, I think Drake timer. Oh, sorry, 2.5 minutes. You're going to need to be in a position, right? You can get a pick beforehand, that's great. If you blow all 5 ults getting that pick, probably not the best. So start establishing that vision control, figure out who's going to be where, what TPs do you have, manage your resources wisely so you're in a position to fight for that, because I think that's going to be the fight that breaks this game wide open and sees that gold gap widen.
Oh, for sure. And if you look at even the Baron, I mean, right, it's going to be one of these global objectives. These Penguin Pajama Party, that being said, do have a 1-3-1 potential, and that's something that I've been kind of wanting them to start looking at. They have the Jax moving, and it looks like they're starting to set that up with Abarn setting up at the top lane. You've got Sir Aaron setting up in the bottom lane. They have a fantastic 1-3-1 composition.
I feel like they should be flipped, though. The TP should be top right now.
No, Dragon's down, so that makes sense.
That's
Dragon's
true.
down.
I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, you put your TP bot and you put your thing out, but Sir Aaron is showing what happens when you let a Jax go, and he bonks JJazz into oblivion. Got the 2 items. See you later, Renekton. You have been outscaled, and this is what Penguin Pajama Party needed. They grabbed the Jax, and Rick being forced out as well. So Smite is now off the table. Goes golden. Are they going to be able to secure the kill? They will not be able to do it. But while all of this is happening, Sir Aaron, having successfully won his matchup, is rewarded with bot inner, and he's just going to keep going until someone stops him. And the Penguin Pajama Party are doing everything in their power to make sure that that does not happen. They get a kill now onto IREP, and okay, they finally were able to get Mike Shepard Rick to match Sir Aaron, but as a result, 1 kill for the team, 1 kill for Sir Aaron, total control of Baron Pit, and now they're going to start this Baron up.
Yeah, absolutely. They are all groups. Nico and Xayah looking 2 champions that can shred in the AoE, but they don't really have the engage to say go and give them time to those damages. And Abarn's ult is back up.
Yeah, Abarn's ult is up. He's going to be able to jump back, and this Baron is in full flight. Yeah, Spurg able to get it, but a beautiful ulti from Control. He's going to dive in, but they are definitely at an advantage. Control going golden, trying to keep himself alive, is not able to succeed in that. But here comes Music. Music going to be able to jump in. Health bars are incredibly low, and Music is full, but Ryoklu and Spurg able to run away. So the Baron being secured 2 for 1, and in the bot side, Sir Aaron bonking on that inhibitor turret. He's going to be able to get it because IREP cannot kill him. Sir Aaron against IREP, the reverse is not true with that Baron, especially this is a 2v1 situation. Music coming in, trying to punish Sir Aaron for his insolence, but Sir Aaron will not be denied, except when he's trying to go under turrets. Oh man, Sir Aaron, you are playing with fire. That Baron buff could not have been better timed, and he's going to run away. Slice and dice not up, so Sir Aaron going to be able to jump away onto a minion and get the inhibitor turret down. So now exposed inhibitor. Meanwhile, in the Baron pit, Rick on the wrong side of his own jungle. Control going to try to take something away, but Spurg just going to hammer him out of this fight, and the zombie Rick goes down. Magical Journey gets Espen out, and Penguin Pajama Party feels like they're almost playing with their food at this point, looking like a completely different team in this game too.
Wow, that was really impressive. You just talked for like 3 minutes straight because that was an extremely, extremely extended fight. Rudy's call of the fight, though, never mind, we're back at it.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna be back at it. No, you gave me enough
real
time.
fast,
You gave
super
me enough
fast.
time to get a drink of water, which is
Super
exactly
fast.
what I needed.
Speedy had an amazing flash to dodge Abarn's ult at the back end of that Baron fight. Let him get a 1,000 gold shutdown. Huge on the ADC.
Yep, and huge on Abarn. Sir Aaron getting credit for the kill, but Abarn jumping in. They're going to be able to knock music out. So now both of these late game carries have hit late game. We've got multi-items from the Yone, multiple items on the Jax, and they are just running this game over. Both of them getting knocked up. They're just going to go for the wallet throw, but maybe a little bit of an overextension as both of them go down. So both solo laners for Penguin Pajama Party are down. The question is, will BMS be able to do anything with it? Not quite sure if they can, considering how low they are.
I mean, Sir Aaron has played very, very well both of these games on the Jax. He just needs to temper that aggression a little bit. You got the pick on the Renekton, guarantees the soul. Play with the team. The man was feeling like he could. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got the soul. But it's like you play with your team there because Zaya's at 3.5. Like, she can do damage if she has time. And Maokai's very good at giving people time to do things. Guy has a lot of CC in the kit. Just a little bit more patience, but honestly, he's like, whatever, I died there. We're gonna go close this game out here in a second. Infernal Soul giving all of those offensive stats. Yone, Jax, Ziggs, loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking before about playing within yourself, right? Not getting too high, not getting too low, just doing what you need to do and identifying the bigger picture. And that's something that, especially as a Jax, Sir Aaron is going to have to do, taking almost responsibility, right? Taking the weight of being a carry onto his shoulders and making sure that he does what his team needs him to do, which right now is to take that exposed inhibitor. And that's what he's doing. He's applying that pressure bot side, pulling in 1 to 2 people, taking advantage of his advantage. And oh yeah, Frozen Heart, by the way, on the Jax on top of it. Music getting caught out. Decent amount of chunk going down, and yeah, unfortunately, this Renekton has run out of time.
Here's the 1-3-1.
Yep, there's the 1-3-1 that I was hoping for, and it looks like they're starting to do that. I love that for this team. It works really, really well for them, and it allows Abarn to carry, as we see an engage from Ira, but they are just engaging straight into Ziggs damage. Poppy knocking 2 of them out. That's going to be a dead. That is going to be a dead music, and they are just knocking on the door of this base. As in the bot side, thank you so much for the zoom out. I was just going to ask for that. We see Sir Aaron drawing the rest of the team, so they're going to need to make a choice between all 3 objectives, and this is what a beautiful 1-3-1 looks like. I call it the boa constrictor offense, where you just squeeze, and every time they exhale, you squeeze a little bit more, and you pick a direction, and they take another. So that's 2 inhibitors for absolutely nothing lost on the side of Penguin Pajama Party, and both solo laners lost on the side of BMS. Game 2 in full flight for the Penguin Pajama Party, and BMS is going to have to figure out what to do about this situation, because everything that they banned away is something that the Penguin Pajama Party could absolutely use.
So we're going to have to do some good defensive macro, right? Your comp has the tools to deal with the Yone or the Jax. I don't know how they deal with the Yone and the Jax without like 3 or 4 members there, right? So when they get split apart like they are currently, it does not look good.
No, it really doesn't. And as we approach the 32-minute mark, it looks like it's going to be one more fight. Sir Aaron is escorting these supers into the bot lane. Abarn jumping in onto Speedy, not able to get the kill, but Music, unfortunately, just does not have the survivability to withstand this absolute wallet throw. As we walk in, 2 waves of minions coming in, they're just going to be able to take this middle inhibitor, but they are eyeing the Nexus, spurring super deep onto Speedy. Speedy goes down. That has to be the game. Control really is the only damage dealer left, and they are so far behind at this point. It's just going to be supers on the top, supers on the bottom. Control getting a great ulti onto 2 people, but it's just not enough damage. As we see the turrets getting chunked away, top goes down, bot goes down, Nexus soon to fall, and that is likely going to be game 2 in favor of Penguin Pajama Party. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a best of 3 for a semi-final spot. Penguin Pajama Party, after a rough game 2, are looking fantastic on this game 2. And Rudy, I am out of breath. I need to go get some water. You can close this game out. I'll be
We'll
right
do that.
back.
You step away. I think we all saw the difference there, right? With literally the exact same top and bot, the difference was Spurg and Abarn not being an anchor. In fact, they did their best to carry. Although Ryoklu quietly doubling everybody else's damage, the Ziggs scaling, like that's just such a good champion for her when Espen is on the Bard. But I will tell you so much more about that when we come back for game 3. As my man said, we got a best of 3 on our hands, meaning each team needs 2 more victories out of the next 3 games to take home the dub. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are at Game 3 of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages versus the Penguin Pajama Party. This is the second quarterfinal. I'm Jaws, joined by Rudy, and I'm actually back for this break. So thank you, Rudy, for holding down the fort to close out so I could get some water. I have a pile of water bottles that I've just been pouring into my hydro flask. So thank you so much. And yeah, what did you think about this Game 2, which was very different from Game 1?
Hey, happy to help, man. I think the difference is clear. Spurg and Abarn didn't go a collective 0-11. That kind of helps, right? And I think you can point to that quite clearly because top and bot functioned very, very similarly. Espen roamed some. Ryoklu quietly picked up kills, honestly ended with like double the damage. Very quiet carry from her. But she did everything right, like not downplaying her performance at all. Did a great job on it. But again, Abarn got fed. Spurg had a lot more agency on the Poppy than he did on the Kane. Not that I think there's anything wrong with the pick, but they just played to their comfort so much more that game 2 than they did in game 1. In terms of adjustments, the first thing on the top of my mind, and I'd love to know your thoughts on it, like, we're going to see a Jax ban at some point, right? Like, Sir Aaron maybe dying under turret a lot, but he's getting kills and was unstoppable towards the end of that one.
Yeah, we may very well see a Jax ban. Something else that we may see is a different look from music, something that scales a little bit better, or see a more aggressive 2v2 topside where the jungle for right. The problem is Rick doesn't really play a super aggressive jungler. He plays more of a facilitator jungler. So that is the biggest, and their win condition is through control. So that's the real tricky thing is music really just has to kind of win it. So that's absolutely something that I would look for is, are you going to ban the Jax and allow someone back in, or are you going to allow the Jax and then play around it where you get control out of his lane faster, have control roam top more, do a little bit more of that. The problem with that situation is that Ryoklu and Espen are starting to do work. So
Oh my
it's
gosh, so
becoming
much
a
work.
lot
Yeah.
harder. Yeah, it's becoming a lot harder for Rick to decide where he's going to apply this pressure. And that's the biggest challenge for that's the biggest challenge right now is where does Rick apply the pressure? The problem is he can't just apply it to, I'll just apply a top, get music going, and then we're fine. That's so I don't know. If I'm music, I'd probably go for a re-rack because Sir Aaron made a lot of early mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think that he got away with them because the rest of the team was doing pretty well. I don't know if this is a different situation. Maybe Control picks a different champion. They know that the Yone is potentially coming. That's kind of what I would look at. But I don't know. I think that music ran out of time. But I think in a different situation, he may be able to do some work. Yeah, another thing I think someone was talking about, TK top is a thing. Music could run TK top, and TK top makes Jax's life absolutely miserable. So that's a thing.
Absolutely. It also takes away the pick from Bright, who's showing that he's terrifying on the Kench, which has sat on the bench so far tonight. Do you want to hear something crazy that I haven't thought about in years that I'm pretty sure Speeding Ira played against me once? Like, again, this was like 3 years ago, so I'm not like leaking strats here or anything, but I was trying to think of like the most wild lane, like the most Speeding IRIP thing. Have you ever seen a Talia and Pantheon bot lane?
Yes, it is awful.
Dude, tell me that wouldn't just be the funniest thing for them to break out right now in this game 3. That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, they could. That sounds miserable. But I don't know if they're gonna do anything. I think I feel like there's a sport in its own right of League of Legends, which is like comp theory crafting, just like the craziest comps that you can think of. And I feel like Talia Pantheon is one of those things where it's like, wouldn't it be great if we did this? And it's like, yes, of course, it would be super duper cool. But then I always go back to, do you have the champion mastery? Do you have? There's just a lot of things, a lot of factors that have to go into it. I would expect something that we haven't seen. We haven't seen any Senna yet, so I could absolutely see some Senna getting popped off. I think the TK is very much, he's just strong right now. And like that is something. Just by the way, no flambe, no spoilerinos, y'all. I have no idea if music plays Tahm Kench. I have not checked his OPGG. I'm not spoiling anything. But if I were dealing with a Jax, and I needed a champion, and our team needed a tank, I would pick Tahm Kench, because Tahm Kench just makes Jax's life absolutely miserable, and he scales fairly well.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what J-Bob did last night with the Tahm Kench. Kind of wrecked on it. The champion does a weird amount of damage and has 2 health bars, as well as bring safety, peel, engage, disengage, whatever you need to the team. Very strong pick. Would love to see it. And as you called out, there's like 3 different Senna lanes I can think of that IREP and Speedy play, and they play well. I'm basing that solely off of I don't like playing. And there's the Jax ban. Smart.
Okay.
Smart.
Jax and Poppy. So
Mordekaiser
they've
is
actually
up, by the way.
They've left the Mordekaiser open. So yeah, they have to first pick the Mordekaiser right here. Like they have to.
Feel like you have to. Like Surin has a proven history on the champion. The man looks good on it every time he plays it. I don't know why you wouldn't. I think like Hippo probably has the Renekton ready into it. I believe that's a pretty good matchup because you can just break the Mord Shield when he pops it instantly with your W. I think, does it have to be an empowered W to break? I think it does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be even tougher because Hippo is not actually playing in this series.
Did I say Hippo?
But music might.
Okay, my dude, it's only game 3. It's already 9 o'clock. And I'm on Central Time. Some of these players are on Eastern. They're looking at the clocks like, man, I got to be up for work in like 8 hours. But they're taking away the Ziggs. That's got to be Speedy, right? I mean, no, I'm sure Control can play it very well. I'm sure Control can play it very, very well.
Well, as we've discussed at length, he does play Control Mages. There's the Senna hover. All right. I love Senna lanes with IREP. It opens up his pool completely. There's just so much he can do.
If I'm them, yeah.
Tahm Kench.
I was going to say, you just,
Kench,
Espen, I don't care if you've never played Tahm Kench before. You pick it right now, man. It's not that hard. It's got 4 buttons like every other champion. They don't do that complicated of things. Just pick the Kench.
Well, Espen needs to pick it because if he doesn't, IREP is picking it next rotation.
Know. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
I mean, he's looked great on the Bard, but this is not the lane for it. Oh.
Senna lanes are tricky, man. Oh, yep, there's the Bard. Yeah, Senna lanes are tricky. The Jarvan being grabbed for Spurg, love the Jarvan for him. Early ganks, early pressure. This is a really, really scary team for the Penguin Pajama Party right now. However, all of that can be negated if they unbench the Kench. Please unbench the Kench. I want to see it. We saw it, I believe, two weeks ago, and it was just abusive. And I love it with the Ziggs. Layer it. There we go, baby. Let's go. Love it. I'm here. I quit. I don't have to cast a single thing for the rest of this series. Enjoy Tahm Kench, y'all. Bye.
Dude, Lucive's in here saying, nah, that lane is nerfed. Send a Tahm Kench, not that good no more. I don't believe you. If I wasn't the one running the Gambas, I would bet every single channel point I have on that Senna Tahm Kench, and I haven't even seen 4 of the picks yet. I have faith in that. Like, I hate it so much. It just scales so good.
All right, no, it's fine. It's fine. Lucive, prove it. Bet.
Prove it. I can't.
Prove it. Prove it with your internet points. That's fine. No, hey, you know what? I'm just here for a good series. If it's great, I just love Tahm Kench as a champion because he's just the trolliest of the trolls. So we'll see. Could be good, could be bad, could be in the middle. Zach being banned, being taken away from Rick. Rick, that was actually something that we hadn't really seen. Was the Zach? I don't recall in the last 2 games if Zach was banned.
Of times.
It's been banned. Yeah,
it was definitely banned first game. I think
Rick,
it was banned second round game 1 or game 2.
Rick, to his credit, is way better on Zach, and he's scary good on Zach than a lot of the champions. He's been playing great, don't get me wrong, on both Mordekaiser and on Mordekaiser and Maokai. But yeah, everything else has just not been as good. Sorry, Mr. Producer, can you not, please? Thank you.
I think it's gonna be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, you were in the middle of a thought.
No, you're good. Yeah, we just banned rest of the bans, Jinx and Aphelios being aimed at Ryoklu. Because they took the Ziggs away, they're expecting a more traditional AD carry, so kind of pushing Ryoklu back onto something that is going to be not as not
safe.
as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as safe. Rammus being good. Anyway, yeah.
I think it's a Caitlyn angle from Ryoklu. You got to play something with range, right? You got to be able to harass the Tahm Kench because Senna's going to be healing him up if you can't get any pressure. But Caitlyn offers those long-range autos. She's got the net to reposition, dodge some of the stuff. Really like the Caitlyn. Not a big fan of the Trundle, but we will see how Rick does with... Actually, that could get Trundle top. I'm pretty sure Music has played that a couple times. Dude, the flexes tonight are hurting my brain. BMS just out here to make me feel stupid.
Yeah, that's BMS though. That's always
that's their team identity.
That's what they do, and it makes champion select an absolute nightmare. There's the Seraphine grab that should be going in the bot lane, so it's going to be a Seraphine Bard lane. So it looks like Penguin Pajama Party has really opted into this. A-Barn's going to run an AD mid, Ryoko's going to run an AP bot, and then we're going to have the Bardo roam, which makes a ton of sense, right? Seraphine has fantastic wave clear. She can just kind of live, and there's the Yone once again. A-Barn opting into the spicy, crunchy skill matchup against Control. And Control, having been banned, a lot of Control champions are still up for grabs. Akali is up. Syndra is up. The Nico is back up, although Nico was okay. We didn't see Baby Raptors,
Dude,
so no Baby Raptor Nico.
They could have hotfixed it like it was. I didn't send you the video over break. I will. It was disgusting. Also, that's a Nautilus top. I've been waiting to talk about this pick the entire time. This is what Music scrimmed against us. I don't know if it's that good, but I know Music likes it.
Against Mordekaiser, it might be a little rough.
I don't think that's good. I really don't. Wait, no, I'm trolling. It's a Nautilus. Okay, never mind. They switched it. I was going to say. They had the Tahm Kench and the Nautilus. Okay, nope, I was wrong. Rick is doing it again. It's a Nautilus jungle, everybody. We've seen it once before. It went very poorly. We will see it again. See if Rick can earn his redemption on the Nautilus jungle with the Trundle top, guys. It'd be so easy to just swap those champions. You have no time left. You have to have them swap by 15.
Yeah, that's rough. If anybody would like to come in and give their opinions, Elusive, cough, cough, on Armchair Analyst, feel free to come in and let us know.
You gonna talk trash in the chat and not get in here and say it to my
Elusive,
virtual face?
Can you please give us content? I also just want to break.
You gotta stop away for a second.
Come on, Elusive. Get in here.
Okay, he's coming.
Yeah, Elusive, get in here. Gonna wind you up, baby. Wind him up.
That's right. Okay, he said okay in the chat.
Listen, you have 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I got some intel that there might be some people being held at gunpoint to lock in the Seraphine. So I was really hoping for a Vayne lane. Sorry about my dog barking. Holy moly. Yeah, I was really hoping for a Vayne lane because I think Senna TK is pretty nerfed, not nearly as strong. And
how'd they nerf it? What'd they do?
Bro, I don't read the patch notes, but I know it's pretty gutted, and the win rate's pretty ass. Pardon my language. So
you better watch it, man. No cursing on this stream.
I know, but
it's PG-13. He's fine.
Vayne, I was talking about my donkey. Vayne's pretty good at TK when he bumbles in or whatever that ability's called. I don't know. Being able to move around with tumble to play around it, such that when it goes in, it doesn't necessarily knock you up. If you're in a mobile ADC, obviously that becomes more of a threat with the Senna and the TK there. But I don't know. Apparently held at gunpoint decision making, and I really don't like the Seraphine here. So we'll see how she goes, I guess.
Dude, I agree. I'm not a fan of the Seraphine.
It just makes no sense here.
It seems like they're. Well, Elusive, it seems like they're kind of going with the self-sustaining AP carries so that Bard can roam and unlock the mid lane. That seems to be the strat, and maybe they married the strategy a little bit on this, where they're okay, we need an AP wave clear carry that is good enough bot so that Bard can roam. Who do we have? Who's left? It's that's pretty much Seraphine. I can't think of another AP carry that would work in this situation.
Then just don't play for the roam. Pick Caitlyn and try to bully them out of lane. I don't think they have the damage. Prove me wrong, but
yeah, I gotta be. I'm I'm Team Rudy here, and also not for nothing. Like Vayne's build with the static, if they chose to go that route, like has the wave clear to be like, okay, I don't have to interact with lane if they wanted to let the bard roam about. I just thought it was such an angle. Not to highlight just one pick. There are definitely others.
No, that.
Talk to me about the Nautilus jungle.
Yeah,
too.
I was gonna say, like, Rudy, enough about the Vayne. Let's talk about this jungle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel like the only thing I want to say on this is you got to unlock her a little bit. Like, I hate to say it, but Rudy's 100% right. Like, at some point, you got to take the shackles off and say, at some point in time, this is like a pretty good ADC that we got to like at least lean on a little bit to do what the role entails and, carry a little bit. So, I don't know. I feel
Rudy's
like
done the most damage on her team 2 games in a row on the Ziggs. Sure, you don't get the Ziggs this game, but she has a proven history of being able to carry if you give her a chance. Sure, it hasn't worked out every single series this season, but I hate the Seraphine pick. I just don't know if I hate it more than the Nautilus pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Around the Horn League of Legends edition. Lucius, thank you so much for coming. You've earned 10 points. We'll see you back in chat. Any final words about anything besides Vayne before you go?
No, I actually didn't even watch the rest of the series until this point. I was at the gym, but I just came in to see the draft, and I was like puking in my shorts. So I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
you.
thanks, Lucius. Appreciate you.
Also, Mr. Caster, your Discord stream has died. I kind of need that one. I know it sometimes closes when you get into games, so just make sure you get that back to us, please. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, Steve. Sorry, Jaws. That was some good analysis there. What who wins this?
Is that what you call it? Because that sounded like elusive ranting for 2 minutes straight about how they need to let Ryoklu carry. Which,
league,
by the way,
that's
for the record,
analysis.
For the record, I agree. I actually do agree. I think that if you look at her average damage, average gold, average damage, like general KDA, like she is really, really, really strong as an individual player, and I feel like this might be a situation where they married the strategy a little bit. That being said, I think we've slammed that point into the wall repeatedly until it is a pulpy mess. Let's talk about this jungle Nautilus. I am terrified for Rick, specifically because Jarvan is just going to go into his jungle and beat the absolute crap out of him. That is the thing that I'm the most scared about, is just how squishy Nautilus is early and how Spurg can just figure out where he is, get some deep wards, and just beat the absolute crap out of him.
Yeah. I honestly can't figure out which pick I hate more, be it the Nautilus or the Seraphine. I don't like either of them. But the picks are locked in. The Gamba's live, or maybe it's closed already. I don't even know. I was live for a bit. Hope you got your points in. Steve, real fast, 2 questions for you. Who's going to win? But more importantly, the question I've been forgetting to ask each game, where's First Blood going to happen?
Oh, that's a great question. I think, oh boy, there's just so many gaping holes right now. I'm gonna hold my nose. I'm gonna hold my nose and say BMS, just because they have enough.
Giving it to them. Yeah, continue.
They have enough. Yeah, they have enough diversity of threat. But music is just gonna kick the crap out of this top lane. The only Rick can have problems and still be okay. Like he can still press his R button. So
yeah,
I think he'll be okay.
Ganks are great. Like
yeah,
so
Nautilus
much
ganks are great, and in team fights, Nautilus can press R and die and still be useful. I think that it's just kind of scary with this Senna scaling really well. Control is going to scale on Ziggs. Music is gonna be a split push threat on Trundle. Like I think this is the first time where they're just gonna be able to kind of get music rolling. I'm a huge fan of this bot lane, the speedy IREP. I know that Lucius said it's it's nerfed, but it's still pretty darn strong. As we see the knockup going down onto Ryoklu, the stun is there. Speedy, however, is incredibly low. Has to flash out. Espen's just gonna jump in, stun her to the wall, ignite her down, and do a walk away. See ya later. Ryoklu's going incredibly low as well, and IREP's gonna get out. So yeah, the early poke doing work. No, he is not out. Now he is out. He has to flash away. But one last parting shot from Espen does not land. So yeah, early advantage in favor of Ryoklu and Espen. Flashes all summoners burned except for the teleport And yeah, this is going to be a interesting laning phase, considering the volatility as we see A-Barn beating the crap out of Control. Control does a see you later, don't let the bomb hit you on the way out. That is the nice thing about the Ziggs pick against the Yone is, if you time it right, you know exactly where that Yone is going to be, so you get a Q drop. But yeah, here comes Rick, just kind of hovering his way through. Top pick, he's going to probably try to grab this scuttle. But yeah, neither jungler has made their presence known, but we see some deep wards coming out from Jarvan, and yeah, Spurg is just straight up hunting for Rick, which I don't blame him. I'm very excited to see if he's going to be able to get that 1v1, but Control a little low on mana, and is low enough in health. Flash is still up, and Spurg walked through a ward. So Control doing a great job of kind of baiting him out, knowing that his positioning is keeping him safe, as Spurg just kind of walks through, and he is absolutely going to hit Rick. And Rick sees him. He's just going to kind of see you later. But yeah, both jungle entrances for Rick are warded, and Spurg is just going to look for an opportunity, goes back through, but Speedy is there along with Rick, and the roams have begun as A-Barn jumps onto Control, dodges through. Rick hovering around mid lane, knowing that that's going to be the lane that he has to get moving, and that is where most of his priority has been.
Yeah, that was an amazing analysis of the current game state. Really loved it, truly did. But I didn't get my answer to the question before it actually happened. First blood in the bot lane.
First blood.
I don't know why IREP went in. Like, he went into a massive minion wave there.
Well, you asked me and I was talking, and then first blood happened. So I don't know.
Oh,
Sir Aaron dies.
God.
Music is just blasting this lane wide open.
There's an auto yeah, huge.
Yeah, no, to be fair, Rudy, I couldn't say where first blood was because as I was saying who I thought was going to win, first blood happened. So I technically said what I thought first blood was going to be because then I said what first blood was. It was not where I was expecting it. I was expecting a solo kill. IREP going in, absolutely missing it. Root goes down. They're just going to slap away at that health bar, and he's just going to heal back.
They're playing it very well.
I was honestly expecting it to be a first blood topside. I was expecting a Tiny Rick gank, or sorry, microscopic Rick gank. Topside did not
always
happen.
Tiny Rick in my heart. Always Tiny Rick in my heart. But Ryoku and Espen are playing this lane like super well. Just like poking, dodging the engages from IREP, getting all the damage they can on the way out, farming it up where they have the opportunity to. Surfing has that tier stacking already. Yeah, I mean, they're just doing a really good job. It's not an easy lane to play, but that's also because I don't play any enchanters or things that are range, so it's not an easy lane to play into melees. Shout out to them though; they've been holding the fort down the whole night.
Yeah, they've been playing. Oh yeah, no, they've been playing incredibly well, and to the credit of like the enchantress side of things, it's not, as long as you're not getting Tom Kench tongued, like you can definitely wear them down over time. It's just trying to leverage those empowered bard auto attacks. I'm sure Spirit has plenty of opinions about this, but yeah, Music just continue to beat up Sir Aaron in this top side. I'm curious if they actually, Sir Aaron starting to turn the tables. Music spending a little bit too much time in this thing. Flashes over Sir Aaron, missing the skill shot, and now he's just going to sustain back from the minions. Oh my god, Trundle is so annoying. Bonk going down. These guys are incredibly low, playing on a nice edge. Music has the sheen. Oh, the long range bomb doesn't quite land. But in terms of sustaining, advantage Trundle as Control trying to make something happen. Gets jumped on. Espen is there on the roam. They're just going to go for the full dive onto Control. He goes incredibly low, but it's not going to be enough. Flash from A-Barn, counter flash from Control. The Ignite goes down. The potion sustained through. How much health does he have? How much health does he have? Show me how much health he has. Click on him. Matt, click on him.
He was at 10.
Single-digit health. Absolutely single-digit health. Control satchel charges away, and oh my god, Spurg isn't 6. I believe they're still going to be able to kill him. Oh no, Espen stopped himself. Control is just buying time. 5 seconds to satchel. There's the second Ignite. He finally dies.
Fade away. Ignite.
Oh man, it took so many resources to kill him. Let's see. Yeah, it took so many resources to kill him. As we see, Microsoft Rick actually coming in. IREP is here, Speedy is here, Music is here. It is a party on this top side. Everybody's just abandoned Ryoku, who's just kind of hanging out, having a solo concert to herself. Spurg gets ignited, gets hooked, about to go down. tick, tick, tick. Speedy gets the kill, and two-person roam. Everybody's there, and Ryoka's just kind of hanging out, doing her thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Seraphine not the best at taking turrets, but you give her enough time, she'll whittle it down. Oh, but engage in the mid lane.
Yeah, another engage in the mid lane. Tempered Fate goes onto two members of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages, but there's the root from Espen, and IREP just going in under turret, gets the tongue lash, shut down for IREP. I think you heard Lucy saying Tom Kench isn't good anymore. Gets the tongue lash, gets the kill, gets the knock-up, gets the tower dive. Great play by the Beautiful Mutant Sausages, starting to press their advantage in this early game as we approach the 9-minute mark.
That whole scenario where they were chasing the Ziggs, I mean, somebody's got to post that into, gosh, what is it? Oh my gosh! Seraphine going for the solo kill in the bot lane.
Yep. Yeah, Seraphine going for the solo kill. Control gets low. Trying to go for Fancy Fork. Flashes out is Ryoklu, and Spurg is there. He's just going to be able to drop a flag on Control's head. Oh my god. He's learned his lesson. Oh, but Speedy with the long-range ulti knocks Ryoklu out. So a 1-for-1 in favor of no one. What a great neutralization of that potential kill by Speedy from downtown.
Control dodged everything. Like, he just dodged everything Seraphine threw except the autos, which obviously can't be dodged. Really well played, and the classic, see the jungler gank bot. I'm on the top side. That Herald is now mine. Music going to come down and make sure they secure that, but heads up play by Ryoklu going for that. Almost got away, but yeah, sniped out. They have a lot of long-range finish opportunities between the Ziggs and the Senna, meaning those 1v1s are rarely the 1v1 you think they are.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun to watch these long range snipes, especially considering how fast the Senna snipe is. You know, Ziggs and Malzahar, two of my favorite champions. Oh, ulti not quite landing, and Control's just gonna satchel charge out. You know, we had asked, he does play control mages, yeah, and he's pretty darn good on them. Just the mechanics of just being able to micro his way around all of these. He's like, it's like he's trying swerving around constantly on a chaotic highway, trying to avoid an accident. You know, that's kind of what it feels like. Sir Aaron, half health, trying to push through. Music, you know, they're even in farm, but Music absolutely has the advantage. Gonna be able to work his way. Can I take a look at gold? I want to see how much gold he has in his pocket. Yeah, he's got about 1,100 gold in his pocket, so pretty close to be able to finish off that first mythic. We can go back to items as Rick comes down, trying to finish off the kill for Ryoko. Ryoko way out of position. Speedy gonna be able to get the kill, grab some souls. Magical Journey, everybody's on it. Spurg is there for the counter gank, trying to make something happen, but this is a 3v1 situation as Espen goes down in this bot lane from Pajama Party. Not able to make things work. A lot of deaths, you know, couple kills, but a lot of deaths between them. And Beautiful Mutant Sausage just looking really, really good in this early game. Almost 2,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, send a TK, weak my ass. My donkey, sorry. I will agree with what you said. Seraphine was out of position because the position that she never wants to be in is inside of Tom Kench's belly. That I didn't even notice until she popped out that IREP had eaten the Seraphine. But, I mean, yeah, what do you do about that? But they're in for the gank here. Yeah,
they're in for a gank, trying to turn things around. IREP just staying alive as you do as Tom Kench, but he knows it's, delaying the inevitable. Real quick gets the kill.
Really very good by Spurg there, as we see another top lane kerfuffle.
Oh boy, Music. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Yeah, there it is, gets the grab. Rick is there, they're just gonna push this one in, and Music is just abusing Sir Aaron. This is a great example of, you look at a draft and you think, oh man, he's gonna be doing great. But then on paper, Music just knowing the matchup and taking full advantage. 2-0-1. Divine Sunder is finished, getting the Conqueror proc. Herald goes down topside. They are trying to accelerate this top lane as fast as they possibly can and make Sir Aaron a glorified R button.
Yeah, guys, stop fighting when I'm trying to give my analysis of what people did good. Oh my gosh, there he goes again.
No, yeah, Rudy, take a seat. I'll be here for a while. Abarn jumping in, getting the shutdown. Spurg actually getting credit for that shutdown. Might be getting an earful from Abarn. As we see Speedy trying to go for the snipe onto Ryoklu. Ryoklu survives, and IREP and Speedy in the driver's seat in this bot lane. We've got about 49 souls for Speedy. Little on mana, so it looks like I think they're probably just going to have to back off at this point. Oh, no, never mind. Just kidding. IREP's just going to kill Ryoklu and go for a dive onto Espen.
He's going to kill both of them.
Probably, yeah. he can eat. He shall eat. See you later, Espen. That is a dead Bard, mythical creature, dead. Actually, they're both mythical creatures, technically. Spurg coming in, but he's too little, too late. 3-1 and 3, identical KDA for this bot lane, and they are just vibing.
Yeah, okay, so like 5... Oh, no, there's another fight going on. Okay.
Just kidding, there's another fight going on. Yeah, Exhaust going down onto Abarn. Abarn's trying to salvage this situation. IREP's going to juke his way out, but now we've got 4 people on the bottom side for BMS, and Abarn goes down. So Penguin Pajama Party just doing the one at a time, everybody dies, and BMS extending their lead as Music looks to jump onto Sir Aaron. Gets pulled in, but just in terms of just raw autos, Music is way far ahead, and he's just gonna be able to sustain through that poke. And Rudy, I think you might have time for some analysis.
Okay, like 6 fights ago, when they ganked the Tom Kench in the bot lane, Jarvan did a really good job holding the drag part of his flag until he tried to channel the E out. That was the only CC they had. If they didn't land that, then IREP was probably going to escape. And then like 17 other things happened, and I was too upset that I couldn't like say the one thing that I noticed from that fight. That I don't have too much else to say other than, man, this is a bloody game, and they're going in for some more. There's the stun.
Yeah, this is a really, really, really bloody game.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, what do you? I guess he didn't want to go there. It's just the potential. That's what it's about.
It's all
okay.
potential.
Yeah, let me talk for a second. Take a drink of water there, Jaws.
Drink more. I've heard that drinking more water is good for you.
You know, that's kind of a sore subject because they did get knocked out last night. But they put on a heck of a show for us. Tell you what. Yeah, so for this side of PPP, they're so split up right now. There are so many plays happening, like the fact that they're getting over, and now we're seeing the focus towards the mid lane again. 8 characters within. Great hook from Rick goes in.
Oh yeah, great hook from Rick, but Spurg's just going to be able to walk out. It looked, I think it looked a lot better than it was. Dragon is available, so we are seeing in Penguin Pajama Party. It looks like they're just trying to group up and reposition, but it has been started by Beautiful Mutant Sausages, and I don't know if Penguin Pajama Party is going to contest right now.
No, I think you gotta let this one go. You have the first Drake, which means you bought yourself at least 5 minutes, right? If the Drakes are taken on cooldown. You got a bit of breathing room. Abarn's missed like 3 ults onto Control this game, just saying.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny too, because Control keeps dodging the same way. I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, yeah, relatively. He kind of dodges to the left.
Left, up left.
And Abarn hasn't quite figured that out yet. Or Abarn's aiming to the right, and Control's like, oh, cool. But yeah, it's as we see Riftchild actually being started and pretty much finished by Rick and Music. Spur going in, trying to get the kill. I do not know the call didn't go down. Control able to knock Spurg out. No, they did not steal it, and Music actually picks it up. So Music gonna use that to knock down the turret, and that has definitely been a play that we've seen. Speedy going incredibly low. The massive snipe coming down. Speedy just sustains through, drinks some cocoa. He's gonna walk away.
I hate this lane so much. It's so annoying. Oh my gosh. I'm frustrated for like Espen and Ryoklu right now. Just like, what do you do? Speedy is loving this. Like his soul count, he has to be at like at least 60 by now, right? All of this constant skirmishing. All this 67, yeah.
67, yeah.
All of this constant skirmishing is exactly what Senna wants. With that, they are going to knock down the second turret of the game because you have a Ziggs mid and Abarn was roaming. Ziggs takes those turrets so fast, and honestly, I think top lane's not far behind because Music already dropped one Herald on. I'm assuming he dropped the top. I don't know if I actually saw it happen.
No, he hasn't dropped Herald. It's
no, this is second Herald, isn't it? Am I confusing games? I swear this is
We might be thinking about
no,
game
no, no.
two
This
still.
is Second Herald. This is absolutely Second Herald.
I know it is
Music had
second. Oh no,
earlier,
no, you're right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're right. It is second herald, and it did go top. So
Okay.
yes.
So I mean,
you're
this turret's also not long for the world,
correct. What
especially with
year is it?
Zigzag
Who
hitting
am I?
up there.
I don't know, man.
Dude, great question. This is game 3, by the way, Jaws. Game 3.
Oh, game 3. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's all right. I'm so jet lagged. Anyway,
Dude, you're a
we
champion.
we are 18 minutes in. Yeah, massive at this point, pretty massive gold lead on the side of the beautiful Mutant Sausages, looking to go up 2-1. And yeah, despite a fairly strong game 2, we were talking before about just some of the draft differentiations. And side note, Microsoft Rick is kind of making y'all eat your words about Nautilus. I was very concerned about the early game Nautilus, but once he kind of gets cruising and moving, he's looking great.
He built an
but
even shroud. I hate that item. I think it's so bad.
man,
I'd
Rudy,
love to give you my
there's
thoughts
a lot
on
of
that.
hate, a lot of hate in your heart right now.
Okay, I have nothing but love in my heart for Microscopic Rick. That doesn't mean I agree with everything he does. Love should not be unconditional. That's a hot take. I don't know if I'd stand by that one. We'll think about that later. But yeah, even Shroud, it's just like I look at that item. I've bought it so many times and like just directly compared it to like stats from Locket, right? It's like, okay, even Shroud, I've had this item for like 10 minutes. I've done an extra 600 damage with it because of the way the item works, right? Like you CC the opponent, your allies do more damage to them. That's how it works. Good in theory on Nautilus because he has so much CC, even with just the auto in his kit, right? But then I look at Locket. I use that thing in one fight. Oh look, you blocked 800 damage. The differentiation there, I cannot justify it in my mind anymore. Obviously, the professionals disagree with me, or at least the League Balancing team does, because it exists how it is. It's not been buffed or anything like that. I don't see the value in it myself.
Yeah. Oh, we see actually control being sent to the Shadow Realm by Sir Aaron, using his fancy forward, trying to dodge as long as he can, but Sir Aaron just gets the bonk. That is the power of the Mordekaiser, being that R button. However, IREP is there on the roam, is able to knock Sir Aaron up, go for the chompy chompies. There it is. He is ignited, spits him out. See you later. Speedy gets the kill. What a bro. IREP making sure that Speedy gets that last auto attack. True support.
Okay, what's Speedy now? Like 5-1? Something like that?
Yes.
At least 4-1. 4-1,
Yep.
okay. Oh, they're both 4-1, of course.
Yeah.
They are hand in hand
Rick.
this whole game.
Oh yeah. They've been hand in hand this whole season. Great chain CC onto Seraphine. Microsoft Rick getting credit for the kill. Microsoft Rick less nice than IREP, making sure that he grabs the kill. 3-0-4. Great kill participation. Spurg jumping onto Speedy. That's a pretty fed Senna, bro. You may not want to do that. Flash out from Spurg. Wow, max range hook from Rick. Speedy getting the kill once again, and BMS are just running this game over. 8,000 gold lead. Music. And while all that was happening, Music was split pushing with Shelly. So that is just kind of tells you how this game is going. I said 8,000 gold lead, 21 minutes, and they get an inhibitor turret smack. Wow, this game is just completely out of control. Tell me what you hate, Rudy.
Sometimes Shelly's eye closes like right before she charges, and you don't get the chance to do that. I could be crazy, but I feel like that didn't used to work like that. Because that absolutely has happened to me before in a game. Like, if you're Mordekaiser, you're like, okay, walking behind it, hitting it once, doing what I'm supposed to do, whatever, it's going down. Objective bounties obviously on the board with one team up, as you said. Like, oh my gosh, they're up, yeah, a little over 7K, about to be 8 on that, and oh goodness, this game is snowballing down a hill. You got Nunu rolling in.
Yeah, this game is absolutely out of control in favor of the beautiful Mutant Sausages. We're approaching 20 minutes. A lot of objective bounties on the table. Unfortunately for them, none of those objective bounties stop a Trundle from split pushing the way that he is. And Sir Aaron at this point just cannot match him. He bonks him once and Trundle just cues him and hits him. As we see Rick landing another root onto Spurg using the Blast Cone to get out of there. chem planted the last cone at that.
Yeah.
Rick a little bit overcommitted, but he is just vibing. He is feeling it. He's got his Aegis. He is cruising. He is a beefy boy. And yeah, in this bottom lane, this is the situation. This is why they picked the Trundle. This is why they did not have music run Nautilus top.
He's already got the whole crusher.
And the Baron has been started. So yeah, Beautiful Mutant Sausage, I don't even know. I think Spurg's probably going to go for a Miracle Steal, maybe, but I don't think Penguin Pajama Party can contest it. Abarn and Spurg are there. Yeah, they're going to go for this steal, but this is going to be a rough one as Beautiful Mutant Sausage could very easily peel off.
They're looking to peel off, but Rick's looking to go in.
Depth Charge goes down onto Abarn, and the rest of the team is there. Good charm from Ryoklu to disengage, and so they do stop the Baron.
But what's happening bot lane?
But while that's been happening in the bot lane, Music giving Sir Aaron a taste of his own medicine, wins the 1v1, takes the inhibitor, and they're back on the Baron. This game is just a runaway train.
Honestly, great discipline from them getting off the Baron. I don't think I've ever seen the TCL team do that coordinated before in my life, especially when the Baron's at 1/5 HP. But, I mean, that's exactly what you have to do. With him off the board, Music now has the Baron buff to make the split push even stronger. With Dragon coming up in 3 minutes, you send Rick top, TP will be up back around then. You send the other 4 bot, and you just pressure this base, look to crack it open. Plenty of turrets left, and by that I mean 6 turrets total on the side of PPP still to take. But, you know, I've talked a lot about what I hate. You know what I love? And I think I've talked about this on stream before.
Tell me what you love. What are your favorite things, Rudy?
I don't know if this is one of my favorite things, I'd say, but I do really enjoy this specific rift. I think the plants are so much fun. The vision ones help me as a support really pump those vision scores up, which is the only metric I care about. Well, that and wins, but, you know, we'll get those too. They go hand in hand with vision score. And also the blast cones, like, just sending you so far across the map. It's a good little meme. I love it. It's some fun stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah. No, I love the plants, the chem plants, right? The chem plants.
Yeah, very, very fun rift, I think.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of cool modifications and kind of changes, especially what the dragons bring.
Dude,
I
it's
actually
so hard to
remember
imagine time
testing.
before elemental drakes.
I actually have a funny story because this game is completely out of
Go ahead.
control.
We have like
shocked
2
if
minutes
they don't
before you
win
have to shoutcast for another 10 minutes straight.
Yeah, right. No, I don't think so. That was all investment, and now they've earned it. So now they're. But yeah, I actually beta tested the dragon, and I was like, I was actually kind of a naysayer about the new dragon because I was like, why would you make dragon RNG? That makes no sense. Like, make dragon consistent. Like, that was my feedback. I was so wrong. Like just adding that variation as we see Temper Fate goes down. Not music doesn't really care. He's just gonna hollow ground as we see a mid lane push onto mid inner. But yeah, I was actually like kind of a naysayer on dragons because I was like, wait, you're gonna make dragon RNG? And I just hated RNG as a game mechanic, and I think it's a cop out sometimes. And like I think I'd played way too much Pokemon, and I was just too mad at dying because, you know, oh no, we see a hook going down onto Abarn. Abarn gets pushed up, and he just can't do anything against this just giant astronaut. As we see a flash hook going in onto Espen. Can I please see the fight? Thank you. Control able to knock Espen out. That's going to be an inhibitor. Spurg coming in on the backside, but this is a 2v4 situation. Spurg flashing out, potentially seeing his mistake. I-rep there just for good measure. Ryoklu goes low. Ryoklu gets sniped. Abarn is alone. Nexus hook is not able to knock him out, but he does get chunked out. Nexus turret number 1 goes down. Here comes music, and that is absolutely going to be game. So we are going to see Beautiful Mutant Sausages 2-1 up against the Penguin Pajama Party.
Like, I want to look at that and call it the Speedy Show, because the man was monstrously fed at the end. That last auto onto Spurg did like 600 damage or something ridiculous. I didn't actually see the number, I'm guessing. But my goodness, every single person on the side of BMS did so. Oh my gosh, Tom Kenshot damage Senna. What is this game? What is this game, man?
That was a wild game.
Oh, remember, it's nerfed. It's not that good anymore. Yeah, what now, Luciv?
Elusive, tell me more. Tell me more of your opinions. Anyway, all joking aside, y'all, that's game 3. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have game 4. Beautiful Mutant Sausages up 2-1, looking to cement their place in the semifinal. Penguin Pajama Party looking to send us the scrapes. Don't go anywhere, folks, and remember, drink more water.
Visions in my head of this, you don't know the half of it. I got dreams of looking up, high as I can get. But nothing feels like how it feels to know these things I don't know yet. The weight of everything, and everything's just thread. Sometimes I'm trapped inside and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But to take on the world is the only thing that we know how to do. I've got dreams of finding out what all of this is for. It's you and me, and everywhere we go it leads to an open door. We've made our mistakes, the good and bad days, but nothing really breaks if I got you. Look at the sky when you go outside, and oh, there is nothing to keep me back. Keep me back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our second quarterfinal for TCL Season 7. We have got the beautiful Mutant Sausages up 2-1 against the Penguin Pajama Party. Beautiful Mutant Sausages with a pretty dominating performance, which, as you had said, Rudy, was pretty bloody as well. I believe I talked for about 6 minutes straight at one point in that game because both teams just would not stop fighting.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to remake this lobby. They're in the wrong order.
Uh-oh.
I mean, maybe they don't care about it. Like, it's not really that big of a deal as long as everybody goes to the right spot. Hopefully they just ignore that and continue on with their lives. Just so everybody knows, no roster changes. Control is not suddenly playing support. Speedy and IREP are still the bot lane, but I also don't think anybody assumed that was the case. So, we see the adjusted bans from last game coming in from the side of BMS. Obviously, it worked out pretty well for them. Keeping with the same 3, PPP has not adjusted their bans at all from the beginning, which means, yep, we will see an Orianna for the 3rd ban. And I think I'm okay with that. Again, that leaves Mordekaiser on the table, which means it might be Music's turn.
I mean, or Music could just play Trundle again. That was pretty nasty.
It was very, very good. I mean, we talked about it quite a bit, just like the Trundle sustain and the damage. Again, I didn't love the pick when I first saw it because I thought I was going jungle. I'm like, not a ton of tanks to take down with that. But you didn't really need the utility. Also, that's a support Jarvan. I don't think Rick plays Jarvan. I'm pretty sure that's IREP's pick.
Yeah, that could very well be a support Jarvan, and I remember seeing it a couple of seasons back, where he just drops flag on people.
Dude,
and
I remember seeing it 2 weeks ago. It's so obnoxious. He played it against us. It was terrible. Maybe that was in the scrim. Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't think it was in a.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was in an official game because I would have called it out because it's just obnoxious because the E damage is surprisingly high as we see a Lilia being grabbed from Spurg. Really loving Spurg making the adaptation. The team clearly had a conversation between the regular season and now that they want Spurg on more damage carries. Or carry junglers, and Lilia is definitely one of those. The other thing with the Lilia, I think they're a little AP heavy, but it does, once again, they've just decided A-Barn's going to do AD. As we see a Zeri hover, Zach is available, and Rick has definitely swung the potential momentum and advantage even further in favor of BMS just because he is so much better on Zach than he is on every other jungler that he plays.
I like the Zeri. It's fine. That's what I expected. I went with the Callisto. That is such a bully of a lane. Man, it is so obnoxious. The thing about the Jarvan support, though... Actually, no, we're going to save that. Let's see if we can predict what's going to get picked next. I think we're assuming that Ziggs is going to go to Ryoklu. I think that's a pretty fair assumption. Again, I think A-Barn is perfectly capable of playing it. And back to the Morgana for Espen, I do like that quite a bit.
Yeah, they're just very, very AP heavy, so they're gonna have to bring if Sir Aaron is not going Mordekaiser, Sir Aaron going Mordekaiser would not be a good pick in this comp.
Pretty terrible. Yeah,
they're so AP heavy, and yeah, so that's really the question for me is like, what is Sir Aaron gonna pick in this situation when you've literally shown 2 AP carries, right? Lilia deals a ton of AP damage. Ziggs deals a ton of AP damage. Morgana's Morgana, but they have almost all magic damage on this side. A-Barn's gonna run Aurelia or he'll probably run Yone again. He's been pretty solid on Yone.
Will he?
Okay, never mind. He's not gonna run Yone because they're gonna ban it.
What else are you banning here? Because you've very much
ban Aurelia. They should ban all of A-Barn's AD champions and force him on like Tristana again.
Yeah,
and
I think that's all that he has left, right?
Yeah.
He's not playing Talon. I guess technically he could play Zed. That'd be pretty spicy. But I don't know if that brings the consistency that the other 3 do. Well, Aurelia's. I don't know.
I think they're gonna run. I think they're gonna force him onto Tristana because the Akali's off the table. I don't know. We'll see. They could, should, but I would be shocked if they did not ban another A-Barn champion here. And considering how much AD there is, okay, so they're basically forcing him onto the Aurelia.
Aurelia or Zed at this point, I think. Does that sound
It's Aurelia.
Worse than
I don't
Aurelia?
think he would play Zed. I'd be shocked.
It'd be fun though.
Oh, it
Sure
would be. I mean,
fun.
Rudy, it would be wonderfully fun for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Okay. There's some AD.
Okay. That is an AD auto attacker. So that's a set. That's Sir Aaron top. He showed it though. So okay, there's the Mordekaiser.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It really.
Yeah, but this is the nice thing. This is the nice thing about how they're setting this draft up. Beautiful Mutant Sausages,
Mhm.
because Control pretty much knows what Abarn's going to run.
Yeah.
He's probably going to run Aurelia, or he's going to, or maybe
Ooh.
Zed.
What about?
I mean, unless they're really, really planning on.
Corki.
Oh yeah, he could run Corki, but
he's
Corki's
split damage.
very.
He does AP.
He's very heavy magic though.
It's like 60-40 if you look at the damage breakdown. But it does bring some level of consistency to your DPS, you know, that Aurelia maybe doesn't. It also gives you range. I don't know. I don't hate Corki.
Well, that's good. At least
How
you don't
can
hate him.
He's just okay. I do use. Oh my gosh! I guess
yeah,
that's AD
right.
too.
We can
I
also
hate this
run.
champion.
We
I
could
hate it
also
so
run
much, man.
Doggo, which is Doggo is just abusive. All right, so Rudy, let's talk about Doggo, because I know
real
that
fast,
you hate
real
Doggo.
fast. Fruge,
Yeah,
you want to get in this this booth and
Yeah,
tell me your
someone
thoughts?
get in here and talk about this draft, because this draft was wild.
I see Fruge. I see Blood. This is what you guys get for being active in chat. Tell me about it. Get in here.
Tell us your opinions about things.
Oh,
hello,
nice.
hello, Fruge. Welcome to the cast. It's game 4. This draft was bananas. Give us your opinions.
Oh my god, you want to talk to me about this draft? We're drafting triple AP first rotation, just like, man, screw it. Because, like, Abarn's definitely not just going to pick Rise, right? And they're just quad AP. Like, I have no idea. Like, the picks are so good in response. Like, Music getting Mordekaiser, it's very good. And Neferi makes no sense. What do you guys think? I'm so confused.
I mean, the only thing. So here's been my logic. So first, let me give you my logic. I'm gonna get into their brains, and then you tell me how, like, whether you feel like this makes sense. So my logic was like, they were like, okay, we like Lilia. We want Spur gonna carry, so we're gonna grab like Lilia. Okay, that makes sense. And then they're like, okay, well, we've decided for this series that Ryoku, you're playing AP champions, because that's just what they've decided.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's the only thing that I can think of, is like they're just really, really married to this strategy of Ryoku plays AP champions, and it's just dictating the rest of their draft. Like, that's the only thing that I can think of. And then after the Yone Triss double ban, it's like, okay, mid lane has to play AD, and control gets kind of like whatever he wants, knowing that Abarn's probably going to play Aurelia. And then Abarn's like, well, I'm not going to play Aurelia, so I'll just pick something. That's all I got. Like, that's all I got, man.
Right. I mean, they really drafted them into a corner. I think you can maybe dig. I don't know that the Neferi's bad, but, like, I feel like you do need, like, that hyper carry mid. I feel like you can reach for something like an Akshan, maybe a Lucian mid. I don't know. It's definitely a tough situation, though.
Lucian sounds terrible into Syndra.
It's
Rudy's
not that terrible
in a
actually.
negative state of mind right now.
You're right. I'm sorry.
forgive
Syndra
him.
sounds so good into Lucian. Let me reframe that.
I mean,
So-
you have an ability that, like, makes you move, and, like, Syndra has to, like, then move her
So
mouse.
I've seen Neferi in game like 4 times ever in my entire life. But like 3 of those 4 games, it did like so much damage. Does it not scale well? Like, I know you said hyper carry. It's not going to scale like maybe Akshan does, but I feel like it scales pretty decently, right?
I mean, right, yeah, it's a great, like, hyperscale champion, but it enables everything that BMS's comp wants to do. They want you to go into them. They would love that. Kalista just gets to auto attack and kite back. Zach gets to land a Q on you, and then potential CC. Syndra, like, you're just feeding her shards early game, and then she's just gonna one shot you. It's just
Or Mordekaiser pulls you out of the fight entirely.
I'd say. Yeah, precisely.
Yeah. Let's talk about this support Jarvan, by the way. Like, let's shift gears away from the Neferi pick, right? Let's talk about the support Jarvan, the Kalista Jarvan versus the Ziggs Morgana. Like, how do you see that playing out?
I absolutely love it. I think you have so much control. I think you can just go super aggro and just completely control that lane. Just have a stranglehold on bot side, stack up early dragons, and then you can just force a play whenever you want because Morgana, without flash, can knock it out of Jarvan ult. Ryoklu has to satchel out, and that's conditional, can be potentially stopped. And Callista feeds call just to pull Jarvan back when IREP eventually does that. We all do. So,
Of course.
I think it just really synergizes well. I think it plays to their strengths. IREP's a creative player. Why not play towards that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, makes a ton of sense. Hey, Fruge, last question as we're getting into the Rift. Who do you think is going to take this?
I'm thinking BMS are going to take this in like a sub 30 win. They're about to roll over and die.
All righty. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and enjoy
Later,
the game.
gamers. Peace.
Later. All right. Yeah, Rudy, I got to agree. I think BMS absolutely crushed that draft. I think that I keep thinking about that the Penguin Pajama Party. I just got married to this idea that Ryoklu's going to play
so
AP
bad,
champions, and it just really seems like it's coming back to bite him by pinching A-Barn's pool and not allowing him to play so many of those iconic carries that he's known for playing. And it's also not allowing Ryoklu to kind of do what she does really well, which is play AD carry.
Like, she is a good AD carry. Give the girl some credit. But I mean, I think what you said right there is so important. Like, we don't see what we normally do out of A-Barn, which is he's not even gonna have to flash. He's good walking it out. I mean, good poke, but he's just going to back and be back in lane. No need to TP, minions solo out of the way. Which is like, where's the Rise, right? Where's the Azir? Oh, wait, we cannot pick them because we have the AP carry in the bot lane, right? We have to have some sort of damage diversity, and the champions that historically A-Barn has shown mastery of are out of the question because they're limiting themselves so much. As Fruge said, right? They drafted themselves into a corner. I think, obviously, you look at these two comps, I have quite a bit of preference for the side of BMS, but I don't think they did anything special there. Also, I didn't realize that the portraits are going to be messed up all game too. That is so annoying. Oh my gosh. We should have just had them remake it. Too late now. You can't rearrange those, can you, producer? Okay, you can do that. Okay. Yeah. Nope, that's good. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, that fixed it. Nice. Good job. Great job. Didn't know we had that sort of flexibility. Thank you, Riot, for having a good client. JK. But, yeah. I like their comp better. I think they kind of did that to themselves on the side of PPP. At the same time, though, they have tools, right? It's not that they're out of the game, or that the game's over by any means. Draft is the first thing that happens, then you have to actually play the game, right? Morgana always has the potential to get those picks, to get those Qs. Neferi, when she can't be CC'd, I'm sure does like something really impressive. And you have the long range engage with the bowling ball. So a lot that can still happen. Now, question for you. First blood, what's happening?
Okay. I think Control's gonna get a solo kill mid at 6. I'm gonna call. Wait. Oh no. Never mind. Control doesn't have ignite. Well, I said Control mid. So
you did say Control mid. But actually, I think A-Barn gets out of this. Just kidding. He's dead. Okay, never mind. He gets out. Does burn his flash? Yeah. I think that first blood's gonna happen top because Saren's gonna either die under turret or Rick's gonna come up there gonna 2v1 him. I think
you think Music's gonna do like the pull? You think he's gonna like pull him under turret? Saren I
think Saren's been playing too aggressive. Like, he lanes really well, he just doesn't know where that line is, and I think the line is the circle around the turret that he should be drawing, but it doesn't seem to have that mental picture.
Oh, he just lost that. He just lost that cannon. That's
well,
tragic.
we just got a raid in the Twitch chat.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
Who raided us?
Blue Water League, raided with a party of 44.
Hey, Blue Water League, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the TCL. For those of you just joining us, the TCL, also known as the Tilt Champions League, is a amateur League Legends League. We play every season. We play twice a year, and we do a draft. So we have 6 teams. This is the quarterfinals, second quarterfinals. The number 1 and number 2 seeds get a bye, so they don't actually have to play their quarterfinals. So this is the 4th and 5th seeds. We are into game 4. Every playoff is a best of 5. We're into game 4. This is the Beautiful Mutant Sausages in the blue trunks facing off against the Penguin Pajama Party in the red trunks. Beautiful Mutant Sausages are up in the series 2-1. And as we were discussing, we both believe the Beautiful Mutant Sausages have the advantage from the draft. But that remains to be seen. As always, feel free to say hi, introduce yourselves into chat, and enjoy the show. Anyway, Rudy, let's get back to it.
Yeah, I mean, great introduction, Steve. Haven't heard a better summary of what we're doing here in a long time. With that, we did see the gank top lane, but Lilia pre-6, not the best at engaging. But on the other, okay, Morgana Q landing, a bit of dancing around this crab should definitely go over to the side of BMS here, as you said, on the blue side. Aborn very narrowly escaping with his life there, and Control's not even 6 yet. I don't see this lane getting much better for Nefiri, especially with the agency that Rick has on the Zac. He's shown all season that he's very capable at like piloting those tanks, and Zac has been the best of what he has shown, but Spurg back for some more action.
Yeah, I mean, Spurg's kind of been pitching a tent in mid lane, and it makes sense. There was some discussion in chat earlier about just how tough a lane it is for Nefiri. Abarn does have the summoner advantage in terms of the ignite, but you know, control's control. Control's on Syndra. Syndra's just a bully, and Abarn doesn't have flash, so he's gonna have to be really, really careful. Meanwhile, the support Jarvan IREP known. I'm actually gonna just insert a little bit of kind of TCL lore, TCL history, just so that for those of you that may not quite know the players. IREP, known for his unconventional supports, loves to play just kind of weirdo champs, for lack of a better term. He's also a really, really good player. So he makes them work, but here we go. Microsoft Rick jumping in, a stun lands, and Abarn going to try to get the counter kill. He is incredibly low, and as I said, his flash is down, so this is just going to be a chase down. A couple more autos are going to do it, and Control, oh, please land the Q. Oh, he's fast.
He does have flash. He does have flash if he has to.
He does have the flash. He's trying really hard not to use it. Abarn jukes the things, but the rest of the team is there. And Abarn actually going back in onto the Ignite, so Control not actually having to burn his flash, pulling the Ignite out as well. And Rudy, I was right. First blood was made.
Yeah. You were absolutely right. You did say at 6, but you know what? Won't drag on it too hard.
He was 6.
It well.
It's fine.
But
he was 6.
Okay,
He was 6.
He did get 6 off
win.
of it. I agree. No, you win. I'm not saying you don't. But yeah, here's the classic Saren. Doing great in lane. Tons of pressure. Does he go too far? Hey, what did I say was going to happen?
What? Oh, you are a prophet.
It wasn't first blood, so you still get the credit. But, I mean, I don't even think that was that hard of a call. We've seen it game after game. This is the 4th one in a row, or if you want to count the whole season, what is this? The 6th series they've played.
Yeah.
5 normal, and then the first round of playoffs for them. So Zverev just very, very good at applying the pressure on his champions, even when he doesn't get the counter pick, doesn't know the matchup going in. But man, he's just so aggressive. The pull under turret, Mordekaiser gets the kill, and that's tragic.
Yeah, we've discussed it because we've seen this movie before. I think I even said something like, "Oh yeah, what do you think? Is Sir Aaron going to get pulled under the turret by music?" Mm-hmm. Because we've seen Sir Aaron just get in that turret range and get punished for it, even in this series, right? He, I believe, early in the music, getting Renekton and getting that really nasty kill under turret because Sir Aaron just tried to be too aggressive. Mm-hmm. But yeah, once again, here comes the Lilia rolling in. Abarn jumping in onto Control. Control's under turret. They're going to try to go for the kill. Wow, Control the counter kill onto Spurg. 1v2, making it a 1-for-1. Control just being absolutely nasty. No summoners, doesn't have the teleport, and it looks like BMS going to start the dragon on that. So as we hit 8 minutes, about 1,000 gold lead, a little less than 1,000 gold lead in favor of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages. Espen's trying to do a little bit of harass, but not going to worry about that. They have the Rend, they have the Smite. They're going to be A-okay. So there's first dragon. Mm-hmm. And yeah, music is just chilling up in that top lane, grabbing that early Bramble Vest, making sure that those set punches don't quite hit as hard, and set punches himself in the face.
Yeah, I mean, the buy with the blood that he got from the kill, went back and just stacked up the armor, not planning to get bullied quite as much by the set going forward. Obvious, easy macro play from the side of BMS. Jungler just died mid lane. We have our jungler on the bot side. Let's go ahead and take that. Meanwhile, Spurg on the later reset because of the death timer is up there starting the Herald. Control does sniff this out. Zac is in the area, but they will be at a bit of a disadvantage. Sorry, because Jarvan is still playing bot side, but seems to be rolling up. Oh, sorry, that's not even the jungler. Zac's the jungler. What am I saying?
Yeah, and speaking of jungler, here comes Zac.
Top lane though, Saren just ulted.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Nice zoom out music and a bring Sir Aaron into the Death Realm and just kill him solo once again. And this is now a 3v2 situation. So forced flash out, Herald in favor of BMS. And it looks like Fruz's predictions are coming true because BMS is just rocking and rolling. Oh no, actually, oh no, they didn't get it. Oh, Spurg actually got the smite. I didn't see the call out. Yeah, Spurg got the smite, so the Herald goes to no one. So good defense by BMS to make sure that they're not able to pick that one up. But yeah, Spurg actually getting the steal on that.
I was watching the top lane fight while you were calling out the Herald one, and excellent flash by Music. He dodged the entire set W, the punch or whatever it's called, to avoid that damage. And then one more Q landed it. It was such a tight fight. Definitely got him the edge there. Just mechanical outplay in the top lane to get that second kill. And I don't know the matchup very well. I don't play top lane, but I can't see this going better for Set as the game progresses when he keeps giving up these kills.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to it. I play a little bit of Set. I don't play a ton of Set, but I would say that generally speaking, Music, just fighting in the shield is just miserable. You know, as we see, oh man, they're just gonna keep this thing moving. Sir, and getting a pretty decent stun on both of them, but they're just gonna roll through this. Music going for the bonk, pushing Sir Aaron out. Even if he doesn't die, he's going to be able to just continue to zone him off of turret, and that CS lead is going to grow. Meanwhile, Abarn having to jump over the wall onto Fury as Control also having a nice little lead there, going to be able to push things through. And now Music reversing roles. Now Music is harassing under the turret. Curious to see if he's going to go for the fast push or the slow push, but yeah, he is in total control of this lane on the top side, and Microscopic Rick just seeing those opportunities and wanting to make sure that he gets the snowball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, man's doing well. He's down. It's weird, right? Because Rick is 0-0-0 across the board right now, but he's put a lot of pressure on the lanes, and pressure's not something that's easily quantified in this game when you don't have the resulting numbers to show in the KDA stat line. But he's still having a great game. Down a few camps, but his team is doing the job. And when Rick plays jungle, he knows his role. He's one of the best role players that are out there, in that he will be a tank. He will engage. He'll go in. He'll dive for his team. And honestly, like when Music's ult comes back up, now Rick's on the bot side. Never mind. I was going to say Rick still has passive. Would love to see a dive on Sir and just to really kind of put the nail in the coffin. Meanwhile, Spurg looking for a lane gank, but Rick is here as well.
Yes, he is, and we're going to see a full-on 3v3. Rick diving into the middle of everybody. Ryoku goes low, ignited. She's going to go down. Speedy's going to get credit for that kill, and Control is here as well, so an instant power play for the Beautiful Mutant Sausages. Instant triple kill for Speedy Bandito and Chugga Chugga Choo Choo. Here comes the runaway train again. It's almost like they never left from Game 3.
Yeah, Control was zooming in there. That was, did he TP from base? Is that what happened? Or
let me double check.
Yeah,
you keep talking, I'll double check.
Yeah, so, I mean, amazing play from them, like, there for the counter gank. Rick's just in the right spot at the right time. With the Jarvan, like, in and out, like, you can throw down the ultimate, lock them in that Cataclysm, and then Kalista yoink right back out, ready to flag and drag on top. They don't get a move, and just so much lockdown between Kalista, Jarvan, and the Zac. Control obviously was there on the play, but I think they had it handled.
Yeah.
At this point, Kalista's 3-0-1, up, 20 farm down there in the bot lane. Going to be a real problem because that Kalista's not getting any weaker.
Yeah, this game is absolutely in favor of BMS, to be a little bit of an understatement. As we see IREP jumping in, going for the flag and drag. Spurg is there for the counter engage. He does have IREP. Oh, is not able to get the Drowsy down onto
I think
him.
He wanted to get it onto Control too. He wanted the double sleep.
Yeah,
but he missed the swirl seed.
Unfortunately, not able to do it. And I did check the replay. Control, if you look at the, you see the Control ward in the bottom river brush. He teleported onto that. Yeah, he teleported onto that river brush as.
Yeah, he was zooming in,
so
like that had to have been home guards, right? Yeah,
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did the home guard. Did the home guard TP, and then here comes Speedy and IREP onto Ryoku. See you later. That's a 4-0-1 Kalista. That rend is brutal. Bork is finished. So yeah, this bot lane is moving. Mid lane, every single lane in BMS has the advantage. This really is their game to lose. I don't normally call games this early, but this really is their game to lose, and especially this early when you have these kinds of champions with this level of comfort. Second dragon, 14 minutes, almost 4,000 gold. This is huge for them.
Absolutely. I mean, picking up those dragons, just accelerating the pace of the game. We've talked a lot about the TCL meta in general tonight, and much like League, it's not that different from your solo queue games, other than like your team will be there to back you up, and hopefully will follow the calls that you're saying in the voice comms. But Jarvan going back in, Rick on top.
Yeah, Rick on. Oh man, Espen just not quite where he wants to be. Unfortunately, your jungle is not your own anymore, and Rick is just going to be able to get out of there. Abarn and Spurg might be able to get a return kill onto them. His passive is popped, and Irep and Speedy are hovering around. But yeah, this is a 4v2 situation. This is incredibly dangerous. Irep and Speedy gonna have to jump. Speedy actually pulling Irep in just to try to save him, but this is actually a 3-for-0 in favor of the Penguin Pajama Party, and maybe I caster cursed them a little bit because just as soon as BMS looked like they were in the driver's seat and ready to bring this puppy home, Penguin Pajama Party taking advantage of a bit of an overextension.
Yeah, play worked out really well, and now Control might be in a bit of a sticky spot. Abarn is coming in, the pushback goes through, the stun somehow gets off even though the ball was behind him. That was weird. But all I can think of, and again, don't love to point out small mechanical misplays, but if Espen would have hit R before he hit stopwatch, plays clean. Again, ended up being a 4-0, or 3-for-0, 4-for-0, 3-for-0. Irrelevant in the long term. Just small things to optimize there.
Yeah, very small things for them to get moving forward. Something to call out though, Abarn 3-1-1. So despite a bit of a tough lane, getting his farm, maintaining his farm, and getting his items, you know, making sure that he can be that AD threat for the team. Sir Aaron maintaining his farm as well, but this is going to be Rift Herald going to Beautiful Mutant Sausages, so getting coast-to-coast global objectives, and it looks like they're going to feed. Yeah, they're just going to give it to Music and just have him accelerate this. Yep, and Control, yeah, that mid lane turret's about to go down. Top lane turret's about to get shellied. Oh no, sorry, inner turret's actually about to get shellied. So they are definitely setting Music up for this 1v1 split push, pushing the set onto the back foot. Rick is there now trying to contest red buff, so he is really feeling himself. Does have the blast cone to get out if he wants, so he's going to walk away. Turret goes down in the mid lane. Irep gonna snag that one. So approaching 17 minutes, really solid gold lead, but that gold lead has shrunk slightly. And Penguin Pajama Party, they are not going away. They want to force this to a game 5.
Absolutely, and what obviously great play from PPP in the bot lane a couple of minutes ago. But what you can't forget is the opportunity cost of that play, right? And what it ended up being was so much pressure that both your top and mid turrets have dropped off. A lot of solo time on those. It was at 15 minutes, but missed the play. Yeah, just a little Jarvan Kalista angle. I'm assuming, yeah, Kalista did not ult yet, but they're going for more here.
And Rick buying time, trying to get Irep into position, does flag and drag, but not, the dunk is not there. Rick just being an absolute menace, tanks an ignite, baits the ignite out from Espen, and they grab 2 kills, and here comes the Rift Herald. Mid-inner, such a key turret to knock out, and they should be able to knock this one out as we approach the 18-minute mark. There's the bonk, there's the turret. Beautiful Mutant Sausages setting themselves up nicely. No global objective, no problem. Grab a turret. And, and while that was happening, Control grabbed bot outer.
Yeah, Ryoklu will likely get one back. Oh, unless the TP coming through from Control to stop that. I was going to say, like, Ziggs, obviously, ton of pressure on those turrets with the satchel charge. But no, they are not planning to give a single bounty, as those did just go into play for red side to get against the blue objectives. Nope, no gold going back over quite yet. Gold lead has stabilized around, what's that, 5K? Oh, never mind. Irep slay Ryoklu in the top side. Looks like, yeah, just Ryoklu. Oh, sorry, not Ryoklu. Speedy and Irep running around the map, killing whoever they want.
Yeah, and we see actually a dive onto Rick. Rick's passive was down, but Music putting Abarn into the Shadow Realm and being able to knock him out himself. And now, but Spurg, Music, you cannot underestimate just how annoying Lilia can be the more she bonks on you. And the rest of Penguin Pajama Party is there. Control is there to respond, but not going to be enough. Espen not able to land the binding, and Control is just going to hold the lane.
Honestly, such a shame there. Music got so close to saving Rick's life with that ult. If it would have been just half a second sooner, Abarn's damage would not have gone through. The Nefari would not have gotten the kill onto the Zac there, and it would have been just a little bit. But on the other side, Abarn does manage to pick up that kill. Is 3-2-2, has his Eclipse finish. We see Mythics coming in across the board. The Callista is currently on the Dragon, though, and with that Ren, that feels like a pretty easy secure.
Yeah, and Control dropping the ulti down onto Spurge. We're getting incredibly low, and another Dragon. This is going to be soul point for this Dragon. Rick does secure it, but this is a 5v5 situation, and BMS, they look like they are getting out of here. They're not interested. Full-on chase mode from Penguin Pajama Party, but just not really enough. Music trying to cover their escape, as is IREP. The drag with no flag, so just a poke onto Sir Aaron, and Beautiful Mutant Sausage is going to be able to get out of there with Soul Point. 20 minutes on the dot. They are going to regroup and just basically pick a lane and set themselves up for Baron.
I mean, why not? You have Callista on 2 items right now. Bloodthirster second, I can't speak to the efficacy of Speedy's builds. Like, I have no idea what you're supposed to build on Callista. But Bloodthirster second doesn't feel right to me. It's fine. The guy's fed enough to where the stats are good no matter what, right? And as you said, Callista, or as I said actually, the objective control on Callista is huge with that Ren. So if they manage to find another pick, that should be a pretty easy Baron over to their side. And I mean, the picks this game from IREP have just been insane.
Yeah, I'm looking at that's not a Bloodthirster, that's a Shield Bow.
Oh, whatever. I'm dumb. It's fine. It's game 4.
So, which actually it makes a lot of
Bloodthirster. Shut up, Luciv.
No, it is not a Bloodthirster. It's red. It's red. It's a red thing that deals damage.
It's a red lifesteal item. Get over it.
It is a red. It is indeed a red lifesteal item. But yeah, I mean the Shield Bow, right? Preventing the burst. There's a lot of burst on the side of Penguin Jam Party, so that makes a lot of sense for Speedy. You can only duck, dodge, dive, or dodge your way out of so many skill shots before you know you just kind of get bonked into place. So yeah, a little bit more of a protective, and also there are plenty of people that can carry as Control just explodes Ryoklu so fast we couldn't even see it. We see a battle on the top side. If I could see it, Abarn actually getting the shutdown onto getting a massive shutdown, but then on the other side, Spur getting knocked out, so smites are down for Penguin Pajama Party, and it looks like we've got a 3v2 situation. So Penguin Pajama BMS could still fight this if they wanted to, and it looks like IREP is going to say, yes, please. Espen going low, he's going to go down. Abarn trying to flash away, and he just gets pulled back in onto Rick. This is what we were talking about, where Rick's Zac is just so much better than all of his other jungles. Double kill for Speedy, 8, 1, and 3. This is going to be a free Baron as we see Music coming in just to make sure it gets secured. And from this point, they're just going to let Music split push and just do a easy 4-1, pretty much doing whatever they want and picking up where they left off in this game 3.
Can Ryoklu get the steal? Their ult did just come back up on the Zig. That would be pretty nutty. No, little early on it, as we said. Ren Smite, that's like 2,500 health. When stacked up, pretty hard to steal that one away. With that Baron taken at 23 minutes, gives them plenty of time to pressure and crash some waves, maybe knock down another inner turret or 2 before that soul point spawns in another minute and a half. Second items coming through across the board for people who aren't ridiculously fed as well on the side of BMS. You have the Cosmic Drive completed as well. I guess Control wants some speed to be able to keep up with the Lilia, be able to land those skill shots. Kind of love it.
Yeah, it's really great to watch, and especially with Music just pretty far ahead at this point. he's going to be able to just enjoy that. He's going to be a side lane enjoyer for a while now. And you said it. They've got plenty of time to just kind of walk this up and just get the wave states exactly where they want it to be. Music's gonna roll in the bot side. My one note, I would have loved to see Music on the top side. I do like that the whole team is hovering there and they're just gonna look to kind of death ball up. But I would have loved to see Music. Unfortunately, because the teleport is down, it does make sense for him to be in the bot side. Optimally, would have been great for him to have, because he did burn the teleport to go to the Baron. Not sure if they needed him to go to the Baron, so unfortunately,
I'm fine with just 5-man push a lane, fade back to Dragon after you take the turret. Like, no need to get fancy here. Just play good old fashioned League of Legends. Turret does eventually go down. Music currently 2v1ing, will get ulted by the set, but I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's got that massive. Actually, I believe someone ignited him as well. Yeah, Morgana ignited him, so I think they thought they had a kill angle. Dragon is about to spawn, is going to be Soul for the Beautiful Mutant Sausages. If they're able to also bait in, they got some Callista sentries going on, potentially be able to bait in a kill or two on Syndra. They're going to steal away the blue buff, so just total control for BMS as they kind of set things up. Rick is there, gonna get a pull onto Ryoklu. Spurg slightly out of position, so the team is completely split. BMS sees the opportunity, getting Sir Aaron and Spurg both down incredibly low. Sir Aaron's gonna go down almost immediately. Abarn's trying to come in from the back line. Death Realm on Music, pulls Abarn immediately into the Death Realm. So Abarn's just trying to buy as much time as he possibly can. He's gonna go out, go in, and I think he's just gonna go down. Yes, he does. Music on a rampage, so this should be free Dragon for the Beautiful Mutant Sausages as Control just walks up the mid lane, continuing to hunt for a kill. The rest of his team does not need him. And
Control
there is the ulti, dropping that power unleashed onto Spurg's face. 3-0 in favor of Beautiful Mutant Sausages, plus the Earth Soul. Reset, pick a lane, enjoy yourselves.
Rick's not going to die for the rest of the game. And a great engage by him. And that was a case of just throwing the wallets at him. You know, they walked into the Zac, he landed the Q, easy stuff. Although I think, did Zac's ult actually bounce them out of the Jarvan Cataclysm? I might have seen that. I'm not sure. I feel like it wouldn't interact like that. Maybe there was a Zig Satchel in there that I missed that actually pushed her over the wall. Not sure. But either way, convincing teamfight win. Pick up that soul. At this point, if I am PPP, I'm thinking, okay, Spurg, get ready to steal that Elder. That's kind of the angle that we have to go for to get back into this game. Because how else are we going to be able to kill any of these people?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think of is all 5 of them catch Music, get his shutdown, and then do that a couple more times, or catch the Callista, do that a couple more times. That's like what they're going for. Music is on the run, jumping away. Spurg, however, is a very, very speedy deer. Abarn gonna jump in onto it. Music flashes, the rest of the team is there, but this is a 2v3 situation with Rick and Control on the way. Teleport going down, it's a little bit late though. Music is somehow surviving, does eventually go down, but this is just a bloody back and forth fight. Control just slamming orbs in the background. Ryoklu being forced out, and this is just a wallet throw. 3-for-1 in favor of the Beautiful Mutant Sausages. The knockup gets nailed. Control is unstoppable, and then Rick goes for the tower dive, knocking out Ryoklu, and Speedy just auto-attacking that turret. So a dirty ace, not quite a clean ace. They got the kill on the Music, but at what cost?
I mean, truly, his Death Realm came back up right there, and what I was thinking about when you're talking about picking Music is, you can get all the people up there that you want, but he can make it a 1v1 for, what, like 8 seconds or something? I'm not sure exactly how long Death Realm lasts. And that gives your team plenty of time to rotate, and that is a very, very quick team indeed to get around. They do get the inhib off of that, and honestly, like, Espen almost dying off of it as well. Rick's all the way in there right now.
Rick's gonna pull him and kill him. Wow, Rick jumping in deep, does have the passive, so the confidence of knowing that you can't quite die, and then the teleport, the double confidence knowing that the teleport will make sure you can't. Spurg getting knocked low, not going to go down himself, but the middle inhibitor will go down, and they're just going to walk this one in. This actually just might be, I don't think they're going to finish it on this push, but things are looking very, very dire as Baron is about to spawn. So free Baron for Beautiful Mutant Sausages as the Penguin Pajama Party's base is in absolute shambles.
I mean, just a real series of, oh my gosh, and now they're going to Death Bush. Who's going to face check first?
Oh boy.
Looks like it's going to be Spurg.
Oh no, yeah, Death Rush onto Spurg, so the smite is off the table. Oh man, so yeah, now this is definitely going to be a free Baron because there's no chance for a smite steal. Beautiful Mutant Sausages doing it by the numbers. Gonna walk in, grab this Baron, take away this objective bounty, 2 inhibitors down. This is just going to be a victory lap for the Beautiful Mutant Sausages, up 2-1, looking to make this a 3-1 and book themselves a place in the semifinals.
I mean, absolutely. Just Baron recall together as a team, send 5 bot. That's all there is to it. Like, maybe you can put Mordecai at top if you want to try your hand at a tiny bit of macro, but Rick, just reset with the team, bud. Just go back.
Some would say a microscopic bit of macro.
microscopic bit of macro. I love it. But yeah, just reset, group up, let the supers do their job, go in this game. Easy enough.
Yeah. Simple as that.
I don't know what else to say there. That's at this point, Gold Lead has ballooned to what 15K, which is the largest by a pretty significant margin that we've seen in this series. They tended to be pretty tight until the 32 minute mark. But I mean, with that, yeah, I mean the Gold Lead in the bot lane's like 5K in favor of Speedy. Zig's just not on the item she needs to be, and Avarn having 4 out of the 7 kills on his team is still 5K down on Control. Like Control is has 50% more gold than him right now.
Yeah.
He's disgustingly bad.
Yeah, there's some pretty massive goal differentials. It looks like this is potentially going to be the last fight. Music going into the Death Realm, taking Sir Aaron with him. Rest of the team, no deaths quite yet, but a lot of damage going down Sir Aaron, going incredibly low. Espen trying to land a binding, but not really going to be able to do much. Rick not going drowsy, just going to eat that, and Control's just going fishing at this point, trying to get a stun down. But they are not in a hurry because the supers in the top lane are bashing down the base. Microsoft Rick flashes in, gets a really solid pull onto multiple members of the Penguin Pajama Party, and the fight has started. Turret goes down immediately. Speedy kiting Avarn back, and Speedy's just going to roll through this Control, going to obliterate Espen, getting another bonk onto Spurg. One last Q will do it. There's the stun. There's the ace. There's the game. There's the series. There's the disconnect. Beautiful Mutant Sausages are going to take this quarterfinal 3-1. Wow, what an emphatic games 3 and 4 to set themselves up for the semi.
Yeah, I mean, very obviously convincing win. Fruge, you called it in the pregame analysis. Was that sub 30? Or was it right past 30? How long did that one last? Let me get a time check on that if we could. What, am I crazy? Where's the time? Okay, right over 30. So Fruge, you're not smart. You're actually dumb. That was a 31-minute game. Yeah, what's up with that, man? But no, I mean, they said, sit down. It's time for bed. I want to go to sleep. Closing this one out here. No repeat of last night's 5-game series. Closing it 3-1, and now we get to pick an MVP.
Ooh, that's tough.
It really is.
That's a tough one. I mean, it's. If not for the Nico game, I would say Control.
Yeah, the Nico game was a bit rough, and he was trying things. It's not that he wasn't looking for plays, but just didn't quite connect on them. But the question is then, who else do we give it to? Like the Tom Kench was great. All of Speedy had a bad game.
How about our boy Tiny Rick?
Dude, I love that.
How about our boy Microscopic Rick?
I think he had a
great series. Every single series, he was great. He did what he did. He secured the objectives. I think he only got one objective stolen the whole series. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm good with Rick. Let's give it to Rick for the playoff dub. Sending them on
either Rick or IREP for the memes. Like
I'll drag Rick in here right now.
Please.
All right.
Tiny Rick, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys? Thanks for casting.
Good. Yeah, thanks, man. Congratulations, you are MVP for the series.
Oh, well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about this series. So, we decided that you were MVP because you were just so rock solid and really allowed your team to do what they do. And also they made the mistake of giving you Zach game 4. Shouldn't have done that. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's walk through, kind of start with game 1 and kind of where your focus was and what the team strategy was against this Penguin Pajama Party squad.
Yeah, I mean, we ran through some drafts and we were kind of expecting them to do something more traditionally what we see out of them. And I do think they kind of came into this with a different perspective. I definitely think they changed up what they were trying to do. So we were kind of thrown off by that, but there was definitely some talks between us that this was something that they would consider doing, just kind of like a nothing to lose. Let's just throw some assassins. I had a feeling Abarn was going to be on an assassin. Ryoklu, I actually thought the bot lane was going to do like a Jinx Yuumi thing. I thought it was just going to be like Yuumi on Jinx the entire game. I thought the Bard was actually quite interesting. I liked the pick. I liked the idea of Ziggs being able to kind of farm by herself while Espen roamed. I don't know why I'm talking about them so much, but anyways, yeah. So I think we were pretty certain on what we wanted to do. Obviously, protect, control, and speedy. That's always kind of been our thing, and then just kind of hope that music can kind of manage himself up there. And I think overall it went well in that regard. I mean, the Jax, we realized that that was kind of a problem just because he can kind of do his own thing. So we got rid of the Jax and we opened up the Mordekaiser. And honestly, Trundle was not something we had ever discussed. And Music was like, okay, I'll play Trundle. And it worked really well. So that was game 2 for us. And I wanted to go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say I have one question for you, Rick. How is that first clear on Nautilus? Because I have to imagine.
I was gonna ask about that too.
What? No, Nautilus is great. The thing about his W, that's the shield ability, is it does like the
it
auto
does a
attack.
dot. Yeah, it's an auto attack reset. Sure.
And
That
then
doesn't make him a
So
good
Rudy's asking you a question, which is actually an opinion, Rick. So anyway, carry on.
jungler.
I max E with him because I think that's the easiest way to wave clear is if you max E. I actually don't think the wave clear is that bad personally, but I mean I could see your argument. The thing that the problem with it is it's very susceptible to aggressive opponents. But if I have an opportunity to kind of just do my own thing, once I get the Bammies locked in and then even Shroud, then I'm just having fun. And I love playing Nautilus. He's like one of my favorite champions to play.
Sure.
In the jungle, even better. So
It worked out. I couldn't decide if I disliked that pick worse than the Seraphine, but I think we're gonna have to go with the Seraphine because you had the dub on the screen at the end of the game.
well, I didn't
True.
manage to die either. I'd like to
Yeah.
point that out.
Yeah, no, I know.
Very proud
I
of
was
you.
Rick. I was very scared for you when I saw you pick that into the Jarvan because I was like this, and we were watching the mini map. I don't know. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. Spurg was like straight up hunting for you. He was putting all wards at every one of your entrances and just trying to kind of see where you were and trying to shadow you. So he was absolutely trying to go hunting. And so you were able to dodge that. So well done. Well done on that. But yeah, in game 4, you got your favorite. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the kind of the transition between game 2 and game 3. So talk to me about the adjustments y'all looked at between game 2 and game 3. Game 2 just did not go your way. It didn't seem like nothing could really break the way you wanted it to. Y'all had a couple of moments where it's like, oh, maybe they could come back, but it just didn't work. So what adjustments did you discuss between 2 and 3 to make sure that you were able to kind of roll? Because once you started rolling in that game 3, it seemed like it really carried over from 3 to 4 to close out the series.
Yeah, I would say the priority on Ziggs, we changed that up because I think in game 3 is when we took Ziggs early in the draft, and we wanted to not allow Ryoklu to do that anymore. Mainly because of her ability to just kind of sit back and make it work on her own. I mean, she's a really good player, so she was just managing it really well. We had to take that away. But then also getting rid of the Poppy because we wanted to do if they did end up getting Ziggs, we wanted to have the Jarvan available, and we wanted to take Poppy out so that she couldn't mess with our Jarvan play pretty much. So I think that's what it was. Like once we realized that Ziggs is a strong thing with their team, and we need to be more cognizant of it and plan for it basically.
Yeah, I mean, you
That
guys
makes sense.
you adjusted the bands, did what you had to do, and honestly, games 3 and 4 were not that close. So well done in terms of on-the-fly changes to adapt to what you're seeing.
Thank you. Yeah. Once again, appreciate you guys streaming and casting. I'd like to say good game to Team Espen or Team PPP. So they played really well. Like seeing A-Barn switch up his comp or his pool and play some assassins. That was fun. Of course, Sir Aaron is always oppressive in the top lane unless Music has his way, which happens sometimes, and it happened plenty tonight. We appreciate that. And then Ryoklu Espen, good game bot lane. Ryoklu always been. I'm a fanboy of Ryoklu. I think she plays really well, and yeah. Thanks for casting. Thanks for having me.
Nice guy,
Awesome.
Rick, as always.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much for hanging out, and congratulations. If you have anything else you'd like to say to our adoring viewers at home, feel free to do so. Otherwise, go celebrate with your team.
I think I pretty much summed it up. I did my closing remarks before you asked me to, so.
Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna give you one last chance to address the audience, but yeah, you got it. All right, man, get out of here. Go hang out with your team.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. See ya.
All right. Well, Rudy, that is going to do it. I'm not going to keep us later than we need to because I know it's very, very late, especially on the East Coast. Final thoughts on this series, as well as the semifinals that are coming up.
Very well played by Team BMS. I look forward to seeing what they can do against Team Sneck. Keep an eye in the Discord for the upcoming dates for the semifinals, as I think we're going to try to play most of them in the next week or so. Try to get everything wrapped up before Thanksgiving. But honestly, like, just shout out to both of the teams for the entertainment tonight. It was a lot of fun to watch, and as always, it was a pleasure to cast with you, Jaws.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. Especially the fact that I was not able to do video. Really appreciate y'all being flexible. As I tried to. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, all good, man. This is fun. I love this stuff. But yeah, on behalf of big shout out to Hippo for doing the production. On behalf of Hippo, Rudy, and all of you out there, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jaws. Have a wonderful night, and remember to drink more water. We'll see you next time.